Hello everybody, welcome. Hi there. How's it going?
Rise from 1,000 years ago.
I'm here. Woo, it's Fire Emblem. It might be a little loud at the moment. Oh, there we go. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm here with Fire Emblem Engage. Can you believe it actually happened? It's been months. Yeah, I think I left it a little bit loud from earlier. Let me try and adjust those audios before we actually get started, because this intro is very loud. It is bopping. If it sounds okay, if I sound okay, just let me know. Hey there, we have Grandals in chat, Soulcaster, thank you both for joining. How far am I in? I'm about chapter 11 or so. Yeah, I've been doing just a bit of this on the side as I've been playing, because I got it a little bit early. Not anything official or anything, not like from press or media. I just got it because Target decided that they would deliver just a little bit early this time. This intro is just so anime. It's hard to focus with this 90s intro blasting in my ears right now. But hey, welcome everyone. We're playing. Wait.
Fire Emblem? Engage.
The audio might be a little bit delayed. Hold on. It was a little bit later. I've been having some weird audio not balancing, but also just syncing issues. Let me see if I just do this and put it back on again, if it corrects that. That's a little better. But yeah, thank you all for joining today. We are going to be playing a new game. For those who haven't played it yet, or those who are still thinking about picking it up, this might be maybe a little bit of a way for you to see if you want to play this game yourself. But we're going to be doing a new game. Hello, Beckus. How's it going? We're going to select form. Gosh. It's funny because I've just been spending so much time doing that other video for for Persona, and I was gonna treat that day as my just a day to catch my breath. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately for my resting, but fortunately for me personally, Fire Emblem arrived a little bit early, so I got right to doing the unboxing. Just other little news and stuff I could try to get prepared for it, but thankfully. Got all that taken care of by now. So we're gonna select which form. I would probably go with female Aleer. I'm just gonna leave them as Aleer. I probably won't. I mean, I think they always say Divine Dragon anyways, so we're just gonna go with regular Aleer. So you're gonna be just display your name as birthday. I'll do my birthday. Hey there, Master Pikachu. How's it going? Welcome. We're gonna be playing on. The one I'm doing right now is on hard mode, classic, but I feel like that won't really give an impression of what I want to know what this feels like for how welcoming this could be for newcomers. I'm just gonna do normal mode, but I will do classic. Not that I think it matters too much, because you eventually get the ability, as with every Fire Emblem game since Shadows of Valentia, a way to kind of turn back time and redo turns if you need to. I could be connected this time. I couldn't connect when I started my other game because it was they hadn't activated that yet. Let's see here. Oh, thank you, Brandon. Brandon's over here retweeting out our playthrough from the GVG Twitter, so hopefully we'll get some more friends joining us as well as we get going. But until then, we're just gonna start off. I wonder how many people are gonna make this their first Fire Emblem game. Soulcaster, yeah, if you connect to the internet, it's something that's been done with other Fire Emblem games as well, like in Three Houses. There'll be little spots on the map where
We can handle this.
units have either fallen or other aspects of it too, where it's just little extra things on the maps. But also you can connect and do online play together too. You can do maps together. You can form your own map and challenge them, or have your map be defended. I still have to jump into that. And hello, Shell Shop. How's it going? So we've seen this intro in all the trailers. Well, at least in the first trailer of the game. Now a female leader, though. Yellow preview of the
Our final battle lies ahead.
allies and the emblems you're gonna ally with. Of course, Marth is the main poster boy for the emblems here.
Now, it's time to engage.
You set the thing. Reynolds is saying this is their first true Fire Emblem game. Now they're in love. I love the last time I felt this invested
go.
about trying a new franchise
One
with
last
Fire Emblem
battle
7
and the
remake.
war will be over.
Final Fantasy 7 remake. I mean, it's a Final Fantasy as a whole back in 2020. Yeah, it's cool how just because they're kind of leaning back to previous generations of a fan base, still capture a lot of people's imagination with it and their interest. We have, oh no, I'm sorry, we don't know this man's name yet.
The others fought hard to clear a path for us. We can't let them down.
So essentially we're ending.
At your end. This place will be your tomb.
We are beginning where this journey seems to have ended. It gives me awakening vibes. We must rout the enemy.
Move in. I'll remain by your side.
Yes, sir. Moving units. If you play Fire Emblem before, there's a lot of tutorials here that will just be a bit second nature to you. But there's also new stuff too. Boy, I was not prepared for the way you can just kind of move around freely like this. I'm so used to the arrow that sticks out. I'll probably change it in settings later because that's just what I'm used to. But still does the same thing.
You have no hope of defeating me, not even with your emblem.
Do auto. Else I'm gonna forget. 2 phases. Player phase, enemy phase.
He's within reach now. We can strike.
But I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people getting into this for the first time, so of course there's some pretty detailed tutorials at first. It does ease up later, but at the beginning there's a lot to kind of scroll through. I'm gonna approach you and attack. There's not really much else I can do as a prologue chapter.
Ever your destiny. The rings are mine.
And we can just get a first look at how smooth the animations look in this game. And the way she just unsheaths the sword to attacks themselves, teaming up with Marth.
It's time. Engage.
We're gonna engage. We're gonna get engaged to Marth, finally. So when you are engaged, you'll have a set of skills that you'll be able to use that normally you wouldn't. It kind of replaces the Gambit system in Fire Emblem Three Houses because you can only use certain moves when you're engaged, and only once. You can't just spam them. You have a limited amount of time. A limited amount of times you can use them. Yeah, the grid system is kind of weird. I mean, this is pretty cool. You can just like run around all willy-nilly, but it threw me off a lot early on, so I'm probably just gonna adjust that right now. Animations, gain speed, action skip, unit control style. So cursor, that would be the more classic style with the little arrows pointing around everywhere. I don't think I really need to adjust anything else right now, though. Oh, that's for later. Conversation, that's all good. So now, when I pick, it's just your typical arrow being thrown around. This is just what I'm used to, but the other way is pretty fun to use, to run around with too. So now we're going to engage.
The time has come.
Now, as one.
And hello, Night. Yeah, hello, Nair, man. How's it going? We really dropped the title name really early with this one. It really gives off that anime vibe, more so than others. It's just like that classic. Like we got a whole Sentai happening
We are now
here,
connected
essentially.
and can unleash a powerful attack together.
Boomer Sooner, hello. Yeah, this is Fire Emblem Engage. It came out just yesterday. I'm giving everyone a good look at it. So when you engage with an emblem, you can have access to some of their weapons too, but also their skills. So they're kind of just gonna push me into it. Oh, I don't. Okay, I'll check. Classic Marth weapon.
Fate has brought us here.
So you can use a one-time attack per engage because your engage only lasts for 3 turns.
Foolish. You have nothing to celebrate. You are weakness itself. You will never defeat me.
We did it, everyone. Alir and some other guy with us. And the MVP, the only ones available.
Thanks to you,
Hello.
this world is saved, and my work here is complete. Know that
We've done
I
it,
will
everyone.
always be
We've
with you,
beaten the game.
and that we will stand together again, as we did this day. If ever we cross paths again, I hope you will remember me. Indeed, that you will remember all of us who took up arms to fight by your side, the 12 emblems.
Ignore that one. I don't want to like accidentally save over that. That would have killed me. I gotta pay attention. Yeah, I just for some games like this, I just name them the main, the basic name, if I can. It feels a little awkward to give him a different name.
Huh?
Hi, hello, Stacy UK. How's it going?
You're seeing this.
It's our red and green nights.
Hello there. And you are?
Our classic Christmas
awake.
colored nights.
Uh-huh. You're really awake, yeah?
You're the divine dragon.
No way.
Well, this is awkward.
No way. The divine dragon is finally awake!
Hey, hold on.
Hey, thanks, Crutching Dude, for following and welcome. We're taking a look at the beautifully animated cutscenes in this game. They look just like Fire Emblem Awakening's intro and their cutscenes, but now it's just pretty much the whole game now.
Calm
Something I've always
down,
wanted.
calm down, you two. What's all of this ruckus about?
Huh?
Divine Dragon. It's a miracle. An utter miracle. The Divine One awake at long last. That I might live to see you standing before me. What an honor.
Not to be rude, but who are you?
Ah, apologies. I lost myself for a moment there. My name is Vander. I am the 32nd steward of the dragon.
Hello, Sir Vander.
Oh, my Divine One. There is no need to address me as such. Simply Vander will do.
See? I told you the divine dragon was awake.
Yeah, we were telling the truth.
You two. I don't believe I got your names.
Try not to talk too much during cutscenes because I know we're trying to see the story as well. But yeah, if I haven't said already, thank you for joining me. We're gonna, if you just joined, thank you as well. We're gonna be doing hopefully a pretty full playthrough of this game. We'll see. There's some games I still kind of left behind streaming, but this is happening here and now, and I'm ready to get into Fire Emblem my own this time.
Oh, sorry. We were so excited we forgot to introduce ourselves. We're the 33rd
It's Deku.
Stewards of the Dragon. My name's Clan. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Fram. We're twins. We've been waiting forever for you to wake up.
As stewards of the dragon, our mission is to protect and provide for you. Generation after generation of our predecessors waited for you to rise from your slumber. I'll admit, I am astonished to see it has finally happened. You see, 1,000 years have passed since the first steward took their post.
Always 1,000 years.
years? That's how long I've been asleep?
Indeed. Your mother, Lumera, the divine dragon monarch, has long awaited this day. Finally, you, a divine dragon yourself, have awakened. This surely signifies great things.
Oh, slow down. This monarch you mentioned. She's my mother? And I'm a divine dragon, you called it?
Oh, dear. Is your memory hazy, Divine One?
Not
I know
amnesia.
my name, but that's about it.
You can't remember anything else?
Maybe you're just feeling groggy because of all that sleep.
But I don't even know who I am.
Fret not. Such lapses in memory are to be expected after sleeping for so long. If I may, you are a divine dragon, a member of a royal family of dragons revered as deities. Queen Lumera, the divine dragon monarch, rules over the holy land of Lethos. In the war 1,000 years ago, she defeated and imprisoned the wicked fell dragon. You, Divine One, are her only child.
The war? The fell dragon? Oh, I feel like I can almost remember, but...
Please, do not trouble yourself trying to bring it all back at once. Your memories will return in time. You are a being of immense power, a deity, no less. I have heard many a tale of your kindness, nobility, and bravery, your unflinching heroism.
That's a lot to live up to.
For now, let
Sleeping
us
for
head to
1,000
Lethos
years and your
Castle.
hair looks perfect.
Queen Lumera will be thrilled to see you. Perhaps the reunion will help stir your memories.
I hope so.
Okay then. Onward and downward.
To Lethos Castle!
Yeah, you got Link beat by 900 years for best sleeper.
All
Look at
this
this
time,
gorgeous, just the
I've been
art itself.
sleeping in the sky?
You have, yes. The place where you slumbered is known as the Somnium, a fortress built upon an airborne island to ensure your safety. It is perhaps the most secure place in all of Elios. Only a select few can set foot there.
Oh, I see. And you three live there with me.
Yep. As stewards, we spend our time caring for you. And managing things around the Somnio.
As far as I know right now, the color combo of her hair doesn't have any significance at the moment. I haven't even gone far enough to know if that does play a role. There's some little hints in the opening movie that does, but as of right now, he's just a two-tone hair color protagonist.
It's a sacred place, so we work as hard as we can to keep it shipshape.
Royal family members visit us all the time. Well, visit you, really. The Prince and Princess of Firene, a deeply religious country, visit especially often.
They pray next to you, like this. Then they just talk for a while, like they're chatting to a friend.
I see. Thanks for filling me in, Fram. You too, Clan.
The Divine One said our names! And thanked us!
I think I'm going to faint! Unless I already did. Am I dreaming?
Need I
some
remind
big
you
fans
that you
here.
are in the presence of the Divine Dragon? How many times must I tell you to behave in a manner befitting your station? Divine One, please, forgive this embarrassing breach of decorum.
Breach of decorum? I'm actually enjoying their enthusiasm.
You're just as kind-hearted as I always imagined.
Oh,
From
look!
what I've seen so
there
far.
it is!
I quite like Laura
Lito's
Stahl's
castle.
characterization of Alir.
The divine dragon monarch is there, you said?
Yes. I suppose 1,000 years have passed since you've been home.
Don't worry. We'll be right there with you.
You can hold my hand if you like.
Thank you. How long have I been wearing this ring? Since before I fell asleep? That blue stone. It reminds me of something.
Oh no.
What are those horrible things?
Vander, are creatures like that common around here?
They're not. I've never seen them. Nor have I heard of such monsters appearing in Lithos before. This is a land of peace.
Understood. Well,
Shall we fight them? As you wish, Divine One. You whose bravery knows no equal.
no, let's run.
Huh?
We haven't the slightest idea who they are, and we don't know how they came to be here. Also, they worry me for some reason. So, we run.
Well, did the Divine Dragon really command me to retreat?
Okay, get to safety.
We'll keep them
Yes, she did.
distracted for you.
I love that.
Come back! Come back this instant!
Let's go and fight the enemy. No, we're gonna run. Huh?
Oh no!
No, my book.
This isn't looking good.
Fran! Fram!
Can't do anything without my book.
Hold on! We shall come to you!
Don't worry, we got this. Look, a little sprite. We got a little, like an actually animating sprite, not just 2
Vander.
frames.
Divine One, stay back.
We'll talk about
It's
more of that
too
later.
dangerous.
Clan and Fram were trying to protect me. I have to help them. I take back what I said. This is no time to run. Please, let me fight.
All right.
Couldn't run fast
but
enough.
Stay on your guard.
I will.
Rout the enemy. Alright then.
What are these creatures doing in Lithos? We had best use the foliage to take cover.
Ah yes, classic Fire Emblem terrain effects. If there's like a fortress, if there's a bush, a thicket, pillars, anything that tells you in the corner, just like that, that there's an advantage. Always attack from there if you can.
Here goes.
I've only got many options quite yet, so. So smooth, so nice. Graphics just look so good here. Unit types. We got cavalry, key adept, mystical. This is a bit different than before. We didn't have like very specific types or subtypes to these characters until now. Along with their class, they have a type. Cavalry have a, well, I guess there's newer ones like mystical, key adept. Those are new, but cavalry obviously we've had that in the series before. Land, or here, gonna get moving. Vander is essentially our Jagan archetype type. For those who don't know what a Jagan is, in pretty much every single Fire Emblem game, there's always, essentially, there's a paladin unit, a unit with high movement who's classed up, that is always a
There are
bit more
too many of them.
powerful than your actual units. They're meant to be like kind of like your crutch, just in case things get a little bit too hard. But these characters will not earn very much experience at all, so you kind of don't want to use them too much, or else they'll eat a bit more experience than you want your lord and other army to earn.
Fram, are you alright?
Wait.
Clan, Fram, it's not safe for you here. Retreat to the castle.
The thing is, Fram can defend herself, but I guess
These
she's not going
enemies
to
are
in this
formidable
chapter.
Indeed. Divine One, Please, use a vulnerary if you are wounded.
Vulneraries. Always handy. They heal 15 HP in this game. But luckily we were in the thicket, which meant our avoidance
I had to stop you.
for their attacks was a lot higher. Its avoidance is 30 in this game, that's a lot. Even on the Game Boy games, there's only 20.
As your steward.
Oh, I will run over here instead. Please stop please stop hurting my fam. The clan fam.
I gotta protect Fram. You rotten monsters don't scare me. Oh no!
Oh god. You really feel the impact with them just flying back each time. Run! Listen, you need to stop that. Can't have you hitting these kids. Yeah, even look at that, those dodging. Even like the paladins on horseback do some very smooth moves.
More enemies.
Aw, jeez.
They just keep coming. You're all trying to protect me. I should be protecting you. If only I could. Somehow.
Someone breathing in my ear.
Who said that?
Is that?
The ring.
Know that my strength can be yours.
I know that voice.
If ever we cross paths again, I hope you will remember me. Indeed, that you will remember all of us
Yuri
who took
Lowenthal?
up arms to
Is
fight
that
by
you?
your side.
The 12 emblems.
Divine One? Divine One! You mustn't do this alone!
Don't worry, please. I'm not alone. Help me. Lend me your strength in this fight. Shine on, Emblem of Beginnings!
Here it comes. It's him.
I am
The
known as
one.
Marth. Emblem Marth, to be clear.
The one from Smash Bros. Yeah, God, there's a lot of actually animated scenes, and it's well animated too. They're so smooth. You gotta imagine, even for people who haven't played much Fire Emblem with Marth in it, because a lot of those were mostly released in Japan. It's super exciting to see Marth just
Thanks for your help.
throwing hands, swinging swords in 3D like this.
It is good to see you. I was able to answer your call because you remembered me.
To my
We have
eyes,
games like Fire Emblem Warriors as well, but still.
Or is that an emblem of legend?
Clan, Fram,
Jaden Buck with 11 months, thank you so much. Thank you for that subscription. And yeah, the music in this game, it goes pretty hard.
with your help, Marth, we might just make it. Will you join us?
Of course. I will fight alongside you from here forward.
Oh, his
Your
name is
ally
Marth.
Until the very end.
How long can I play dumb? So now we can sync with our emblems, as we did in the tutorial. When you're synced, your power goes up, and you have access to certain skills that you only have while synced. Emblem Marth strikes quickly and repeatedly, dominating foes with his nimble grace. The sync skill Perceptive makes it easier to avoid enemy counterattacks. The engaged weapon Rapier deals bonus damage against cavalry and armored units, as rapiers always do in Fire Emblem. The The engage skill Divine Speed has an additional less powerful attack. So you can actually hit 3 times in a turn, although the third one's a little bit weaker. And then Little Star Rush is like their, I'm gonna call it their signature move because they can only use it once per battle. But I'm going to, this doesn't really matter who we hit. We're gonna engage. We're just gonna show it off right now. Oh, it could be with your regular weapon or with the actual weapon that you get access to only when engaged. It's a bit overkill, but we're gonna do it anyways. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, I love those visuals. It's just like we're doing. It's like I'm gonna mention it. It's like we're playing Tale series and you use our Mystic art. It looks so cool. Just swat this guy out of here. Oh, I see you've chosen death.
I live to fight again.
And the fact that every character has an outfit for each emblem, it's so cool. They went hard with a lot of aspects in this game.
Sleep now.
And the environments? My god. What the?
Cannot afford to
I haven't even seen that critical hit yet. That looked great. The critical hits, the animations are like calling back to how ridiculous some of them were in the Game Boy Advance era. Because those are some of the best critical hit animations and just sprite work in general. On the Game Boy. And yeah, you will increase the bond level with these characters as you use them together. With that, you can unlock abilities and eventually have access to inheriting those abilities onto your character. So you'll be able to, when you start engaging with other emblems, switching your rings around, you'll be able to keep some of the abilities you have with this emblem. Yeah, the animation, it's so smooth, even like in cutscenes. Like, for those who have played other games that do motion capture, there's some games where when they're standing still, they kind of have that jittery motion to them that, I mean, it's not perfect, of course, but here they're like super smooth. And just the graphics themselves, they're just so clean. Yeah, I scrolled down a bit on the save menu just so we don't see the name of whatever chapter I'm on right now in the actual playthrough I'm doing
Vander!
on hard mode.
Thanks for saving us.
Yeah. And, sorry. This all happened because we ran ahead.
I'm the
Graham,
one
you
who
could have at
should
least punched someone in the
apologize.
face.
You put yourselves in danger trying to protect me. It's such a relief you're both safe now.
Divine One, I hear more enemies approaching.
This
More?
one's on normal mode,
I
actually.
thought we'd gotten
The one I'm
them all.
doing on my actual
Evidently
file,
not.
aside from
These
this, is
creatures,
hard
will
mode.
there be no end to them?
Huh? There's more?
Here we go again.
And they've got a
Just
dragon?
instantly appeared. Catch a lot of the expressions so well too. It really is a graphical step up from Three Houses in cutscenes and also
At
just
last,
environments as well.
You are awake.
We're gonna get a lot of story
Is it
early
really
on.
you? Yes, it's me. Thank you for saving us. What a joy it is to see you. Huh? I've waited for so long. When I sensed you had awoken, I flew here as fast as my wings would carry me. I hope you're not hurt. I'm fine. What a relief. You cannot understand how I've missed you, my dear child. Oh, you're My mother.
What's the matter? Don't tell me.
Since awakening, the Divine One's memory is clouded.
I see.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you weren't expecting this.
As you're forgetting who your mother
I
was.
must apologize. I was so overcome with joy. I hugged you as hard as I could. I take this to mean you've forgotten everything. I suppose it's to be expected. 1,000 years is a very long time.
Vander explained that I've been sleeping since some war that happened back then.
Yes. You suffered a terrible wound. And because of that...
A wound?
It is like Breath of the
Well, I don't remember that. Or this world. Or anything.
Don't
Well, you
fret,
needed to sleep
young
1,000 years to feel better from
I
that.
will speak to you of all you've forgotten, regardless of what you remember. I'm simply glad to have you back, my dear child.
Still,
Mom!
this isn't the reunion you hoped for.
Oh,
You're embarrassing me,
don't worry
Mom.
about me. It's solace enough just to hear that sweet voice of yours, and
No,
to gaze
Mom,
once more
stop.
into your eyes. What lovely colors they are.
We're gonna see me and Vander down there now. You're gonna see more of us show up in that loading screen. And yeah, Stacy. I mean, I guess you don't really have to finish 3 houses in order to enjoy this as well, because unlike a couple other Fire Emblem games, there's no continuity. But yeah, this looks like a good entry for people to just jump right into as well, and also just a bit of a history lesson for the Fire Emblem series as a whole, with all the emblems in here. Here's something that's completely different. After battle, you can explore the map freely and converse with your allies. You can look for items on the ground or just chat with people. It's really unique. You can just run around after battle. It's like a little cooldown period. So if I run around a bit, you can check the whole map right here. And yeah, it really is just the entire map that we had played on. So it's completely rendered and explorable. And then during battle, you just kind of zoom right into it. Where's that glowing spot? Oh no, that's not a glowing spot. It's a pigeon. Hello. There's a glowing spot over there. We got some nuts. We're gonna take some of these with us. So, okay.
So great!
And you can just chat with everyone. Need healing. She's gonna be our healer.
Amazing.
And the brawler. Interesting combination. What happened to that guy who popped out of your ring? I don't know. Kind of
Thank
popped in
you.
and out, didn't he? Very, very happy to see you. It's like a dream. However, we best not linger for too long. There may be more enemies lurking about. It hardens me to see you and Kling Lemira reunited at last. The memory loss may have come as a surprise, but she seems elated nonetheless. There's not too much to do here at the moment, so we're just gonna head right on out. Depart
Let's
to the
head
next
to the
chapter.
castle. Climb on my back.
And just like in the Game Boy games, and also in like some of the latter games, like even on GameCube and Wii, during these scenes, there's art. Just shows just art that kind of helps to illustrate what's
We
happening.
live on
And they
the
do that here too.
continent of Elios, 4 realms surrounding a holy land at its center.
It's the trailer.
Firene, kingdom of abundance. Brodia, kingdom of might. Elusia, kingdom of knowledge. Solm, queendom of freedom. The land of Lethos, home of divine dragons. And Gradlon, domain of the fell dragon, fallen to ruin. 1,000 years ago, our lands endured a vicious war with the fell dragon. We called upon heroes from other worlds to aid us, heroes known as emblems. With them, the warriors of our nations fought as one. In the end, we were victorious in defeating and imprisoning the fell dragon. In the years since, our world has been safe. But now, I sense a resurrection. The binding weakens. If his shadow stretches across the land again, then we must fight him anew, as we did in
And I was like,
ages
oh, she's just
past.
speaking as
Fell
a
dragon,
human in dragon form.
Sombron, must be stopped.
Hey there, Sumo. Sumo says, well, title drop, Fire Emblem Engage. Sumo saying, I've been thinking this is Fire Emblem chasing the latest light novel trends, and then found out that the character artist, they're a pretty big light novel illustrator. Yeah, Micah Picasso is the character designer for Fire Emblem Engage. Well known for very beautiful, colorful illustrations. If you look on their Twitter,
within these walls.
light novel illustrator.
So this is
And-
Lethos Castle. It's beautiful.
And as other people know, designer for Hako's Bales, the VTuber on YouTube for Hololive. You can definitely see it in the hairstyle as well, and in the eyes. I think you can see the comparison. It's like they have a family, now they have a rat doing VTubing. Oh. Plus TV's asking, what's a
I'm glad
Fire
you think
Emblem?
so.
Well,
Though you may not remember this place,
it changes
I've
depending on what
long
game it is,
waited
honestly.
to welcome you back here.
Every
Welcome
Fire
home.
Emblem game has a Fire Emblem. I don't know what it is in this
I'm
game though. I
home?
guess it's the rings,
Yes.
technically.
You are. I feel overwhelmed with joy. I may cry.
Queen Lumera.
Vander, Clan, Frem, thank you for all you've done. You are worthy stewards indeed. You and your predecessors, watching over my child all these years. I am ever so grateful.
You are too kind.
Yeah, it's awful nice of you to say that. I'm starting to feel woozy.
Oh yeah, go us! We just got praised by Queen Lumera herself!
The happiness of this moment aside, I am troubled to see the corrupted here in Lethos.
The corrupted?
Those enemies you were fighting out on the grasslands.
Oh, I didn't like those things one bit. Just the sight of them made my blood run cold.
Hey there, Shell. Yeah, we pretty much finished the prologue. Technically the first chapter. There wasn't too much going on, just introducing battle. And Marth as well. She made a fun little appearance. Hey, it's Oscar Rijo. Hey, Daniel, it's Oscar Rijo from Jersey City, New Jersey. Plus TV, or referring to Plus TV. Fire Emblem is an RPG created by Intelligent Systems and published by Nintendo since 1990. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that explanation real quick,
Understandably
too.
so. The
I did the literal
corrupted
explanation of what
corpses
a Fire
revived
Emblem
by
is.
an evil power. The Fell Dragon used them as his soldiers in the war. Before the start of that bitter conflict, Elios had known peace for eons. But then, a dark presence emerged. Sombron. Despite tireless searching, we could not determine where he'd come from. But seeing the destruction he wrought, there was no doubt of his evil intentions.
Oh man, is my
Now
auto
the
getting
corrupted
delayed
are
again?
spreading once more. This may be a sign of his return.
No.
I wonder if it is mere coincidence that you awakened as all this unfolds. If the Fell Dragon has been released, then we must prepare for battle.
I can't imagine fighting someone like that.
Worry not. I doubt he will attack anytime soon. This castle is filled with the spirits of divine dragons. The corrupted cannot enter it easily. Let us devise a plan now, while we have the opportunity. Emblem Marth.
It's been quite some time, Lumera.
That it has. Thank you for lending your aid against the corrupted.
You're welcome. But of course, I could help only because your child remembered me. You know, it is possible the others are awake now, just as I am.
Perhaps you are right.
Sorry, but what do you mean? Who's awake?
There is something I should show you. Follow me.
What is this place?
Those of the Holy Knight, of the Sage Lord, and of the Azure Twins rest here. as well as the ring of the Princess Exalt, and finally, the ring of the Instructor. Each dwells within an emblem ring, as Marth resides in the ring of the Hero King.
So, counting Marth, there are
Dude, all
6
the ones that you
emblem
mentioned,
rings.
I can kind of name off which ones were
Wow.
which.
In
Those
fact,
emblem rings.
there are 12. 6 here, and 6 entrusted to the other countries, as a precautionary measure.
What do you mean?
The emblems grant world-altering power to whoever has all 12 rings. For generations, the Divine Dragons used this power to ensure peace and prosperity in Elios.
Someone was asking about the Sage Lord. That one tripped me up too, because I wasn't sure at first. And then I realized the only one it can be was Leaf from from Thracia 776. The description doesn't match anybody else. I didn't know they had the title of Sage Lord.
Indeed, that was how we locked away the Fell Dragon. But many have sought to steal the rings and use them for their own nefarious purposes.
Which is why they're scattered all over the continent, not just stored here.
Precisely. The rings offer their power but once every 1,000 years, at which time the Divine Dragon travels across Elios to collect them from each nation's ruler. With 1,000 years having passed since last time, I was planning to carry out this ritual soon. But if the Fell Dragon is after the rings, the emblems may be summoned before I arrive.
Summoned?
It is how one calls for an emblem from a ring, just as you did earlier with Marth. Only those with royal dragon blood are capable of summoning. That includes you, my child.
Oh, you must be talking about the phrase that popped into my head.
An invocation, you mean? What was it?
Shine on, emblem of beginnings. I wasn't even thinking about it. The words just fell from my mouth.
That was how you summoned Marth. What was your focus? Your intention when you spoke those words?
I wanted to help Clan and Fram. I didn't want to lose them. I wanted to protect them.
Your focus was on helping others. Remember that intention whenever you summon emblems. Not to keep the power for yourself. Understand? To borrow so you may protect others.
I understand.
Now,
You can see a lot of the
why
statues
don't
in
we
the background
try
of
a
heroes.
practice battle? You must be a little rusty after all these years.
I don't know if you saw during that cutscene, you could see like Ike, Lynn, and Leaf.
How about we train here? You will be the one fighting. The emblem lends you their strength. You need to train your body and mind to unleash an emblem's full power. Vander, Clan, Frem, you will be aiding my child in this battle. Against me.
Against
Queen
you?
Lumera, even in a practice battle, I could not turn my weapon on you.
Oh, Vander, please do put your heart into it. I know I will.
Your queen commands you to fight me. Oscar is saying the only Fire Emblem games you have on the Switch are Fire Emblem Warriors, Three Houses, Three Hopes, and Tokyo Mirage Sessions. That's pretty much the whole collection, unless you haven't gotten engaged yet. A lot of Fire Emblem games on the Switch.
The corrupted! No, dear. Not at all. How could you think so? I made these opponents from plants and rocks. Nevertheless, their abilities are
Queen's
the
about to be
same.
like, aren't they
Drop your
cute? They're my
guard
little
and you
plant
could
and
be
rock
hurt.
creations.
They're really unsettling. Can we train with something else? They give me the chills.
Listen, you must push through your fear and face whatever opponent stands against you. Never run away. You are my child, the protector of all. The Divine Dragon.
I understand.
Don't worry, Divine One. We'll back you up every step of the way.
Yeah! Or what Fram said.
As loath as I am to battle against Queen Lumera, orders are orders. I pledge to bring us
Yep,
victory.
instead of Professor,
Thank you, everyone.
this time it's going to be
Now,
Divine Dragon,
Let's
Divine One.
begin.
Oh, nice. I hope you enjoy Engage when you get it, Oscar. I've been having a time. Tutorial fight. Tutorial fight. Oh, there's another bit of a tutorial
Be
happening here.
cautious, Divine One. Some of these enemies are carrying long-range weapons. Therefore, they
Here.
can rain arrows upon us from afar.
Gotta be aware of attack range. Some weapons like the bow can only attack from 2 spaces away. Some weapons like magic can do 1 or 2 spaces away. But if you're fighting someone with a bow, who has a bow, then you want to rush in and attack him that way. Hello, Marth.
See this enemy with the axe. Axe wielders are at a disadvantage against
The
swords.
weapon triangle.
Swords are strong against axes, axes against lances, and then lances against swords. If you outmatch your foe, you can break their fighting stance for an advantage in combat. Try it. Strike with your sword. After their stance is broken, they'll be open to further attack.
This is something I was actually surprised about. I didn't understand what break was when I saw that in the trailer. Break happens when you have the advantage of the weapon triangle. In battle, you can negate their counterattack entirely, which means if they were going to counterattack you, now they won't be able to. So if I attack right now with my sword against someone who uses an axe, normally they would hit back afterwards, right? With a 35% chance. But after breaking, the battle just ends. Because you have that advantage.
Well done. You see, swords are strong against axes. Always keep such weapon advantages in mind. Enemies can't counterattack while recovering their stance. A good time to finish them off.
So yeah, no matter if you attack with someone close range or not, they're not going to be able to counter your hit.
The Divine One looked right at me!
Oh dear.
You know, I can do some mean healing with my staff. Not only that, I can take incoming hits from nearby allies. But it smarts when I do. Anyway, if you don't want to get hurt, or you need some patching up, just lean on me.
The healers have quite a unique role this time. Of course, they can heal or hurt enemies with staves, as you can find more later on. But they can also, well, they'll break after a certain amount of uses. They are the key adept, the Kai key. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I'm sorry if I'm not. The adepts can use chain guard to protect allies from attack. So if you use chain guard and you're next to an ally, for a leader, for example, and they get attacked, that ally will jump in and take the blow instead with a pretty significant reduced damage. But it's only available when the adept has full HP, so it's gonna be unusable until they can heal again. We'll show that off eventually for sure. But as of right now, we literally can just go in and throw some hands because they're not able to counterattack right now. So after that battle, I think now they're able to attack again.
Hey, Divine One. I don't know if you knew this or not, but I can use magic. I'm good from near or far, even against well-protected enemies.
Got our magic units. You definitely want to use that against characters who have high defense. They usually have low resistance in that case. Mystical units, so mages and such count as a mystical unit. They ignore terrain bonuses, so even if this enemy was hiding in a thicket, for example, that avoid plus 30, it's not gonna matter. They can land attacks from a distance even when the enemy should be hard to hit. Yeah. So if you're fighting against someone that's in like a fortress or they have an advantage with terrain, you send a magic user at it and negate that. Yeah, this is a lot of damage against this guy who's a warrior. More of a tank
The strength of the stewards.
physically than magically.
Yes,
And because we have
here.
one left, I'll just soften this person up with Vander, or they'll just take him out outright. I think I'll just wait then. We'll have someone else get that experience. Oh yeah, Ash did mention how Thorin in Fates was very much respected, and it is kind of a similar situation being a dragon. And I don't know. It's hard to say if if they're gonna have that same
For the
reaction
Divine Dragon.
for this game, because I guess it's a little different. I don't know. The main character carries herself or himself a lot better than I think Orin does, especially as we continue forward. They can think for themselves a bit more than what we've seen in the past.
I've got this.
Oh, jeez, I can't. I'm gonna just
I'm not even tired.
come at you later. Just wait a turn. We can get a leer in there too.
It's time I enter the fray.
No, you can just wait there. Don't move! No!
There is no need to hold back, my child.
But I'm scared.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for not going dragon for this fight, by the way. I don't think I would survive. Also, with the whole worshipping the main character, I think Clan and Fram are the only ones that really lean into that really hard. It's like, oh my gosh, it's the Divine One. Everyone else is just kind of like, oh yeah, I should show more respect to you, and then just kind of treats them as any other character, honestly. There's no like, oh, you're the one of legend. I need to make sure I am on my best behavior at all times. I think they kind of eased up on that from Fates. Enough, at
Queen
least.
Lumera, please forgive me for standing against you.
Vander, you are my child's knight. You must fill that role as best you can. Attack me with all your might.
He's using the weapon. I mean, it looks like liberation, but liberation, it might be something fancy like that, because it's got a little tilde on the E. That changes everything. let's.
foes are strong.
Do they all say something to her? I think they do. Oh, I don't want to put you in danger though. Let's give it to Clan.
Queen Lumera, I don't want to attack you. Oh, I feel dizzy.
Sharpen your focus, Clan,
Whoa.
lest you miss.
Move the camera around just a little bit.
I'm so sorry.
Good job, Clan. You've defeated your queen.
Fantastic work. You fought together splendidly. Let's move on. Wait over there a moment. All right.
Dang.
If everyone is in position,
They throw
we'll
a
begin.
two-parter mission
This
right
time,
in
I
the
will be
second
more
chapter.
Hands-on. I intend to fight as if in an actual battle. Furthermore, I'll be using this.
A ring.
Is that the Ring of the Holy Knight?
Indeed it is. I'm inviting an old friend
Holy
to
Knight.
join us.
Here he comes. Him and his horse were in that ring.
I am Sigurd. If you require strength and swiftness, I am all too happy to oblige.
Emblem Sigurd. He looks like a strong opponent.
Each emblem has their own abilities. When allied with them, you can call upon their unique powers and skills.
Whatever Sigurd's power is, it won't be the same as Marth's. We better keep our eyes open.
Oh boy.
My rapier is effective against cavalry, like those enemies over there. Once we engage, you can use my weapon. Try it against that foe.
I will make note of that. Are we still hurt? Sometimes an emblem's energy lingers in a space. If a synced unit finishes their action or waits on a space containing the emblem energy, their engaged meter will fill completely. It's just a free recharge. So I was just trying to get me to show that off right now. Oscar saying, by the way, Daniel, a few days ago I played Fire Emblem Heroes on my phone and I got female Lear and put on my team of heroes. In fact, in the mobile game, there are lots of characters from the entire series, including some Japanese Fire Emblem games that never got released in the USA. Yeah, oh yeah, I can check out your danger radius. Just in case you want to know where all the danger's happening and what range you want to stay in or out of. I play Fire Emblem Heroes a lot. It's kind of a daily thing for me. I pulled a Lear too, and Chloe. Yeah, it's the only way that a lot of us have been able to really get any exposure to a lot of characters from the series that normally would never appear. At this point, it's just Genealogy of the Holy War and Thracia 776.
Sort of like that,
Fire Emblem
maybe?
4 and 5, respectively. Those never got any official English release over here. I'm hoping for a remaster, sort of how we did Shadows of Valentia for Fire Emblem Gaiden. But yeah, that's how I got introduced to Sigurd for the first time. He's a cool character. I want to be able to play that in official capacity sometime. First time chat from, I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name right. Guig. Let me know if there's a better way to pronounce it, because I always have this curse. I wonder if Lumera will survive the "we can't keep a parental figure alive" that exists in a lot of Fire Emblem games. Gosh, that is really quite the trope, huh? Oh boy, we're gonna see what happens though. I shouldn't do it head on here. Graham, can you
No problem.
just smack someone around a bit for me? I would love that. Here she goes.
A noble sacrifice.
As Brawlers will do, they'll attack twice in a row. We're gonna move you over here. But we're not gonna attack. We'll pretty much leave Vander to be the one that brings in enemies to for us to get the kills on.
For the Divine Dragon!
Oh, the crit!
Phew.
Instead of a cut in now, they just kind of do a dramatic zoom in, which kind of works better. There's a lot less character art now. Like, if you notice in all the discussions, there's no like character portrait in the corner, which I'm glad they did away with since Fire Emblem Three Houses. Not that it didn't serve it well or anything. It's just that it was kind of redundant to have the face on twice on a screen. Like, you'll see a character like in front and center talking in Three Houses, and they'll also have the character portrait on the side. That made sense in games like for the Game Boy, and even in like the 3DS games where they're just models or sprites, you can't see their face. But when it's the same, you can see the same expression in enough resolution twice. It seemed kind of redundant to me.
For us to make our move. Come, Sigurd.
They could have just left that character art for like the unit screen and such, but not that it's a bad thing. Oh my gosh, I just realized I would have done a lot of damage.
That was incredible.
Lord Sigurd is remarkably swift. Perhaps we should be grateful this is a mock.
I just realized I had like a third chance of getting a lot of damage from just that Rider's Bane. I'm gonna have to move around. So since he has the rapier just destroyed cavalry, I don't think I can for right now. Nope. So Vander probably gonna have to back up a little bit. Queen means business over here. You know, well, we can cause break, but then I can't reach with a Lear. Thickets are getting in the way. Terrain will definitely do that to you, but oh, the thing is, you can go like anywhere. Look at that movement range. Oh gosh. I guess it won't matter because at this point we won't lose the fight, or at least we won't lose these characters. Even if Vander kind of just sits there. Using clan again. Very useful in the early game. Magic's always very useful early on. It's all hide in the thicket. But we'll also, because I think she's gonna just go straight for Vander being, oh never mind, I have no health. I was gonna do chain guard, but that's not gonna work here. That's a 4. Attack of 18. Yeah, you just hide in here, you'll be fine. I'll just use this just in case she wants to go straight for her. Vander will defend plan over here, I think. She can technically go anywhere.
This is certainly more of a challenge.
Your enemies will not hold back, and neither will I. That is why you must defeat me. What a delight it is to see you in battle after all these years.
It goes hard for me just waking up. Where you going? End it off right here with a good old Lotus Star Rush.
Fate has brought us
So sorry. You've won. I'm proud to see you working together so well.
Googly saying, also, just verified my account to send that last message, but I'll add that I'm excited for this series of streams. I'll do my best to follow those as best I can. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're going to be hopefully keeping a steady pace with this. I'm going to try and do these every Saturday, at least a few hours, or probably at most a few hours. I don't too long on each stream, but they'll definitely be up here. I'm trying to get a VOD channel put together. I got to put like the thumbnails for everything. We got to organize what's where. Once we launch that, we'll actually have, this will be a series that will remain on there. So people who miss it, even after the 2 weeks on Twitch is up and it gets deleted, they'll still be on YouTube. Oh, goodness. And if you're watching this on YouTube now, hi, thank you.
You bested Sigurd and me. That's quite the feat. There is much to improve upon, but this is a wonderful start. Great work.
Thank you.
I can't believe we had to fight against Queen Lumera.
Yeah, well, I can't believe we won!
Though you have only just awoken, your power seems to be growing already, Divine One.
I'd like for you to have this.
This is the sword you were using, isn't it?
The sword.
Yes. An ancient blade that can be wielded only by divine dragons. It served me well for many years, but now it is yours. Consider it a prize for your victory today.
Thank you. Someday I'll prove that I'm worthy of this sword.
I have no doubt. Please, take this as well.
Is this another emblem ring?
No.
It has 2 tones. It reminds me of someone.
Ornamental. You see, before your slumber, I made you a promise.
What was it?
I said I'd give you a birthday present that suited you perfectly. I was working on it in private, but I was unable to finish it in time. That birthday has long since passed, but I would quite like to give you this gift now.
I'm sorry. I can't accept.
Why not?
That ring fulfills a promise you made me, right? But I don't remember that promise. It'd feel wrong accepting it. Like I was taking a present meant for someone else. Please offer me this gift again once I've remembered everything.
Everything, you say? Did facing me in battle stir any recollections?
It didn't. I'm sorry.
You need not apologize. It doesn't matter what you can remember right now. I only hope that one day you will think of me as your mother, as you did 1,000 years ago. Forgive me. I was so thrilled to spend time with you again. I suppose I got a little carried away, didn't I?
Oh, no, it's all right.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. Perhaps we should call it a day, hmm? But let's agree to chat again in the morning. What do you say? Pinky promise?
All right.
Promise, as long as you stop. My mom keeps beating me. Help. Long day of beating. And yeah, we're gonna launch that VOD channel hopefully very soon. I keep saying that, but I was so busy with other videos I was working on this week that I didn't really have any time to organize that. But now that I have a lot of free time, we're working on a discussion. We're gonna keep doing the discussions for Pokemon, like the series that is gonna be the little 11-episode Ash and Pikachu series. I'm gonna send them off. John, Brandon, and I are doing discussions of that every week. We did one last week for the first episode. We just recorded the second episode. That should go up on the channel fairly soon for those who are keeping up with that series. It's only subtitled right now because it's gonna take probably a while for it to be in English. But we're looking forward to doing all those every week. They've been fun so far. But yeah, I'll have free time to get that VOD channel set up fairly soon. And I don't know if it's going to be a thing or not, but hopefully we might even just make a Good Vibes Arcade Twitter account. And we're gonna see, because we were kind of GVG's account kind of just is the Twitter account for Good Vibes Arcade, and I think it'd be nice to just kind of separate the two, if not just for not flooding GVG with our news.
Spectacular as ever.
I'm just kind of chatting.
Please rest easy for today.
Chats in the morning. I think I picked up those two things. Kitty! Kitty! We can't do anything with Kitty right now, but Kitty is there. Alright, next chapter. Boomer Soon is asking, will you stream Tears of the Kingdom when it comes out? I don't know,
Wonderful to
actually.
see my child awake at last.
I'm thinking about it.
Now we'll never have to be apart. There is so much to catch up on, so much to see and do together. We can chat for hours, take long walks, share meals.
He's like genuinely
then,
excited. Pretty cute.
If my child's memories are truly lost, I wonder.
You wonder.
Emblem Sigurd.
I am here.
There's something I'd like to discuss with you.
Today certainly was eventful.
What does Sigurd
Queen
and
Lumera
Queen know?
seems so kind and caring. I'm sure she was a wonderful mother. If only I could remember those days. I must have felt so lucky to be her child.
Chapter 3. Hostilities. They don't make like a big deal of the splash screen for the chapter. It just kind of happened. In and out. This be? Why is everything on fire? This is fine? This is not
Why are
fine.
you here alone?
Her hair is all red. That was a Sephiroth moment right there.
What was that?
That dream.
Was that me?
Stacy's saying,
you
Hope
all
Mom is
right?
not evil. I'm
It looked
also
as though you were
concerned if
having a bad dream.
we're not evil.
I was. But yes, I'm all right. Were you here this whole time?
You were wearing my ring when you went to bed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to take it off.
That's all right. Keep it on. Then if something happens, I will be able to help. Besides, after a millennium together, I would feel uncomfortable if we were separated now.
Marth. What was I like?
Hmm.
You knew me back then. You must be able to tell me something.
Well, you were kind, as you are now. There's no need to remember everything at once. Take your time. Ease back into your memories. Lumera advised that too, didn't she?
Yes, she did. Sorry. I don't mean to be impatient.
It's all right.
What was that?
I'm not sure. An enemy raid? We had best take a look. I'm worried about Lumera and the others.
Agreed.
Marth always makes a good Yuri Lowenthal rather makes a good Marth. Been Marth ever since Fire Emblem Heroes, Warriors, in Smash Brothers Ultimate. He just is Marth now.
Oh, Divine One. Thank goodness you're safe.
What's happening?
This is just like my dream, except everything's not on fire yet. That's not good.
Some enemies busted right through the castle walls like paper. Suddenly, bam, they're here!
What's worse, they fought their way into the ring vault. If you ask me, they're trying to get their hands on the emblem rings.
Even as we speak, Queen Lumera is defending the vault. Quickly, we must fly to her aid.
A lot of dudes here.
Sounds like a plan. Follow me!
Okay. Rout the enemy. Gotta get everyone out of here. It's quite a bit more than before. You like item icons on enemies indicate you can get something from them after defeating them. They'll be highlighted in green in the enemy's inventory. Thank you, Yugek, for following. Review information about a unit is by selecting them with X. There's the details on screen for information. I'm still getting used to this UI. Usually I'm used to selecting a character, pressing a button, and then a whole other menu comes up. But here, everything just kind of stays on one menu, which is kind of cool in its own right. It just stays here. It kind of keeps it a bit streamlined. I'm still getting used to it. And it's a little hard to navigate sometimes because sometimes I want to scroll this way, but it gets the top layer or the bottom layer. But otherwise, pretty cool. Oh boy. Okay, there's flyers already. The unit movement is very small.
I've got this.
I can only move 4 spaces, and even our paladins, they're only limited to 6. It's really slow. It's not slow, but it's really condensed from what I remember. But that kind of helps with the map design, because they can add a lot more. Each portion kind of counts a bit more, and they matter more per each in each map. I guess I mean to say is each map is designed more meaningfully with all those in mind because movement is so small. Oh god, so many flyers. I want to engage right away or not? That's going to be the question going on from here on onward. We can... I want to have them in there.
Me, right?
I couldn't even move them. Or move them around. I kind of just started the battle like this. But we'll go ahead and take this guy out right now.
For the Divine Dragon.
We'll probably get hit in the next turn. Well, you can actually set this when you're checking out the yeah, the danger radius. You can toggle it to either be a button you press or to hold. I don't think it's ever been that option before where you can hold it instead. You can just hold it and let go. I guess it's hard to tell because you can't see me pressing it, but that's how it works now. Or that's how I'm gonna make it work. Gosh. Plan, you can just kind of chill back here for a moment. I don't want you to get hurt. You be a bit of a soft boy. I had some wacky percentage hits and misses while doing this, as Fire Emblem tends to do.
Too many of them. We'll never make it to the ring vault.
There's a lot of flyers over here.
Through this door, right? Yes, this is the one.
What is this?
Then let's go.
I hear voices. Someone's coming.
Yeah, they don't speak when they leveled up anymore, which is fine. They're actually a lot less hard on themselves when they only get like 1 or 2 stat ups. They always look like they just want to defeat themselves whenever they only get a very bad level up.
The Crown Prince Alfred of Fierene is here to help. Let me at him.
It's Alfred.
Prince Alfred of Fierene, you said?
Could it be? Are you the Divine Dragon? You finally woke up?
He didn't have the voice I expected he
yes.
would.
That's amazing! You know, I've waited ages for this to happen. There's so much to talk about. Later, of course. After we've taken care of these scoundrels. Who are they, anyway?
We're not sure. They attacked so suddenly.
Well, let's do this quickly. Pin down whoever's in charge and get some answers. Oh, these are my retainers, Etier and Boucheron. From now on, consider us at your disposal. Lead the way, Divine One.
Thank you for your help.
Alfred, Etier, and Boucheron. Woo! They've joined our group. Alright. Let us commence. Well, if you know Fire Emblem, using a bow.
It's an honor to meet you, Divine One. I'm Etier.
Etier. Be effective on flyers.
My arrows are perfect for knocking airborne enemies out of the sky. With these muscles, I'll have those flyers dropping like flies.
Effectiveness. Some weapons have icons to indicate if they are effective against certain types of foes. The first one, yeah. Like the way rapiers will destroy cavalry and armored units. A bow will also be very effective against flying units. Alright, ATA. ATA. Not Edie. Even bow units are... Even they rock in this one too. As far as the animation goes. Let's move on up here. Did Alfred some work out too. Camera can sometimes be a little wacky depending on what structures are obscuring the way, but it's a minor thing. Magic won't do too much against Pegasus Knights. You'll pretty much rely on them just for the little pick-off damage.
For the Divine Dragon.
Yeah, I like the name Boucheron as well.
Sorry, Divine One. I didn't have a chance to introduce myself. My name's Boucheron. If I'm near an enemy you're fighting, I can jump in and land another hit on them. Call on me if you need some extra
Right,
oomph.
backup units. So, the backup unit is another type. If they're next to an enemy that you're attacking, they'll also jump in. Kind of like how support units would. They don't do as much damage as support units will, but that little bit can actually mean the difference sometimes. I'm sure we'll display that as well at some point. What a unit. Alright, go around here. Wait, actually, can I talk to anyone? I don't think so. But yeah, as mentioned, you can use minus to check all your stats as you normally would. A little more of a classic look at that. Oh, don't engage. We need to engage just yet. We will strike.
This time, victory was mine.
They're so animated when they move. Come on, level up. Break defenses. Well, that's a good one. That's the one where you get an extra attack. Levander is thankfully right at the point where he can do enough damage without KOing anyone. letting someone else get the final hit. Sumo saying Alfred's Japanese voice is more formal, which makes his character quirk all the more amusing. He loves his muscles.
That's how it's done.
Graham is getting the hits in. I love the idea of a healer that just punches everything that she sees.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. You're there.
Point the way again.
Boucheron, join us. We'll lure this one out with Alfred. All right, oh, that's right. Everyone has their own unique skill as well, personal trait. So, when Alfred waits without making any action, he will have strength +2 for that turn. The twins have a skill that basically revolve around Alir. If unit is adjacent to the Divine Dragon, grants hit +10 during combat to both of them. Rams is grants avoid +10 to both of them if they're, and Vander as well. If they're adjacent, will grant crit +5 during combat to both characters as well. Kind of revolves around around those units, as they would. They've been watching them as retainers for very long, so it makes sense that they would have that. Over here, haven't chain guarded yet, but we'll do that soon. Wait, is that gonna hit both? Oh, see, that's what I have to worry about, because if I step there and the Pegasus Knight goes after Alir first, my sword will be broken, and I won't be able to counterattack this guy up here who will probably hit me next. The weapon triangle has become much more important in this game than others. I'm trying to jump in with like Lance versus Lance, for example, if I can. Or they'll just sneak up from behind.
The strength of the stewards.
Our stewards, right. Not so much retainers, but more so stewards. Oh boy, and everyone's coming out at once. Okay, what's the best way to handle this? Well, anyone can pick off this knight now at this point.
I'm okay.
We're going to make some quick work out here. We're over there too. Just want to do this. Gonna have a lot of second guessing myself during this. Get rid of this guy so we don't get clan in danger.
You were a good fight.
Love how the armor on Alfred's pony makes it look like a unicorn. Normally not a good idea to use an axe against a sword, but this is Vander. He's going to be just fine. At least at this point in the game. Set that up there. Lock this one over here. We're gonna attack this guy right here with Etier.
Pretty weak.
Have Boucheron get some action in here too. Although, I wait. Considering how much damage they do, we're gonna hold back just one turn here. But we're gonna do Chain Guard to defend either of these two that gets hurt first. Or unless she gets hit instead.
I have my orders. No one reaches the vault.
Oh, and I got broken. I think I confused Alfred for Vander's position. Oops. But it's okay because we're just gonna engage and destroy
Emblem engage.
our knighted unit anyways. For good measure, we're just gonna use Lotus Star Rush.
Who are you, and what do you want?
I am here to fight, not exchange words.
My prayers are with you.
Well then, goodbye, I guess.
You're not just any soldiers, are you?
Jeez, the armor is just way over there and blown away. That's a Final Smash if I ever saw one. On level up, and then, oh yeah, just have to deal with this one. Let Bouchron get a hit in. He didn't get to do anything. Boom. And we'll give the last hit to her.
Let me help.
Or him, technically.
We've got to train together.
He just kind of got the. I love how everyone has a quote, if in case the ally who jumps in for a chain gets the last hit.
Looks like we cleared the way.
All right.
Let's get to the ring vault.
I check on Mom.
Whoever it is you are, the rest of your forces have all been defeated. So surrender now. If you refuse, I will stop you. But how?
Do I detect a hint of fear? Of course I do.
Who is this sassy young child?
Time to die.
Oh God.
Look out!
Mom? Oh jeez. It's okay. She is all right.
Now, why don't you hand the rings over to me?
Oh no.
Leave here at once!
I can just shoot beams from her hand. And then at this point, I'm just like, you can't just do this in chapter 3. We're in chapter 3.
No! Here, Queen Lumera! I'll fix you up!
What's the matter?
My staff isn't helping her. She's hurt really bad. And it's her divine dragon powers. They're almost totally wiped out.
That thing where they're too hurt. They're hurt too much to be healed.
It's the same as losing years of their life. The thing is, there's no reason Queen Lumera should be drained like this. It doesn't make any sense.
It's simple, my young one. I gave my power unto you.
But why?
All the years you were sleeping, healing, I was transferring my divine dragon powers to you. I hoped it would be enough to bring you back to me someday. But now, it would seem that I'm completely spent.
But we just met!
My fault. I did this.
No, my dear.
This is like record timing for the parental figure, isn't it? It's gotta be a record.
A mother wouldn't do to see life return again to her beloved child.
But
This ring, it belongs to you now. The ring of the Holy Knight. I had so hoped to give you the ring I made as well. But that's not possible now. Listen to me, child. Those who invaded here, I sensed the power of the fell dragon within them. You must not allow them to capture any more of the rings. Please, I beg of you, gather together all 12 rings. And when your scattered memories return to you, you must fight on with the utmost divinity. I believe in you, my child.
I understand.
No, I think
I'll collect the
Mikoto
rings.
lasted a
I
little
swear
longer,
to
but
you.
at the time between meeting the child and parent
I'll do whatever you want. But
and
please,
the parting,
don't leave me.
very similar.
Mother!
Ah, young one. How I've longed to hear you call me that. All of those years, I held out hope. My heart is fuller than you could ever know.
It can't end like this. You were going to give me that ring once my memories came back. You promised. And there are so many things you haven't told me yet. You said that we would talk.
I did. There's still so much I wanted to say to you. Being your mother, becoming your mother has brought so much happiness into my life.
Becoming your mother.
I know. And I'm happy to be your child. In this moment, here and now, and 1,000 years ago, I am. Don't go. Stay with me until I remember again. Please, Mother, I need more time.
Oh, my sweet one. Now, let's make a promise. Mother and child. We'll make it a pinky promise. I swear to you, I'll be with you always and forever. And the ring, remember. Once you've rested, we will talk. You and I.
Mother. No, please.
This simply cannot have happened. Queen Lumera.
The Divine Dragon Queen. She has left us.
Mother, please wake up. You promised you'd stay by my side. You have to keep your promise.
I still haven't heard the male version of too often, but I wonder if their scenes, their performances are comparable. Because I think female leader, the fantastic voice.
Thank you for
done by
helping
Loris.
with my mother's funeral.
It was the final service we could provide Queen Lumera as stewards.
I can't believe she's gone.
Come
I
on,
just
Fran.
started.
Think how hard this must be on
Why?
the Divine Dragon. We gotta hold it together.
I'm trying, but
Lumera. I never thought our paths would diverge so soon.
Nor I. And to leave a child behind, I did that in death. A bitter memory. I vowed to protect your offspring in your absence.
Sigurd, you
Lumera.
can't say that. No one's
If
not
we
everyone's
could
played it
grant
yet.
our power now.
Marth, you know that's not possible without the other emblems here.
Yes, I know. This is awful. Sorry I couldn't have done something.
No, Prince Alfred. Without you, our losses may have been even greater. Though I must ask, why did you come? Was there something you needed?
Yeah, the voice
Our
work can
kingdom
really
is in
carry
danger. My mother sent me to ask Queen
very-
Lumera for
very
help.
strongly.
All over Firene, our people are being attacked by these creatures.
Creatures? What kind of creatures?
These things are like people, but cracked, almost crumbling.
The corrupted.
People are cracked.
Oh, so that's what you call them.
Yes. Corpses brought back to life.
No wonder they wouldn't listen to us. They just keep attacking everything. We sent our knights out to hold them off, but it's a losing battle. My kingdom is being destroyed. Divine One, will you help us? Please, come with me to Firene.
Me? What can I do? It was my mother's help you wanted, not mine.
Queen Lumera is gone. You're the last divine dragon. We need the power of the rings to save Firene. And only you can do that. Sorry, I don't mean to press the topic. I'll return to Firene. We'll do what we can.
I'm coming with you.
You will?
I don't want more families to be torn apart. More people to suffer. Even if I'm scared, I have to push through my fear. Now that my mother is gone, it's my duty to step into the role of Divine Dragon. And if each kingdom is protecting rings, I take it Firene has one, correct?
That's right.
Then I need to go there anyway to honor my mother's request. She asked me to gather all of the rings and bring peace back to Elios. As the Divine Dragon, I officially accept the Kingdom of Firene's request for aid.
That's great to hear. Thank you, Divine One.
Happy to help, Prince Alfred.
Just Alfred is fine. I've been visiting you at the Somniel since I was a boy. I think of you as an old friend. A very, very old friend.
I appreciate that. Actually, I can't remember anything from before I fell asleep.
Nothing?
This world is new to me. I appreciate having friends who can teach me about it.
I'll do my best. Can't say I'll know much compared to Queen Lumera, but I'll try.
Thank you, Alfred.
Yeah, that mentioned already. Vocal work can really carry a scene, make it that much more impactful or memorable. I can't remember. Honestly, can't remember the one from Fates as much as I can here. Supports, as always in Fire Emblem, fight next to your allies, and you can support people. You can view support conversations in Somniel or the world map to increase your stats as they're adjacent or near each other during. Don't worry about it, Stacy. Sigurd said something that he probably shouldn't for anyone who hasn't played Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War. but it's become more and more of a commonly known thing, unfortunately. How it happens, I don't know. I haven't really delved into that yet. But otherwise, they're not really shy about spoilers at this point. In Fire Emblem Heroes, you can recruit Lumera on your team, and she will in fact spoil that maybe in this world she won't pass away and leave Alir alone as she did in this game. Just like, well, I mean, first of all, it probably would have happened anyways, considering the trend in Fire Emblem, but you didn't have to tell me like that. Boucheron. Gets out, there will be mourning all over Firene. Can I point out Etie's utter stunning abs going on here? They're just, that is a texture on her belly. Those are the abs of a champion.
I'm sorry.
No.
But yeah, you definitely feel more emotional in this parting of mother and child as with other Fire Emblem games. Being voiced really does do so many favors to it, and Fire Emblem has had just really good voice work ever since like They've always had it, honestly. They introduced it. Well, they had cutscenes in Path Radiance Radiant Dawn, which are questionable at times, but ever since the 3DS era, Awakening, Fates, especially with Shadows of Valentia, that one really, production level is very high, and they kind of just stayed there for games like Three Houses, and now this as well. Alright, next chapter. I'm sad, I want to move on. We're moving on.
We ought to establish a base of operations before we begin our journey. The Somniel would be uniquely useful.
A little out of the way, isn't it? I can't imagine how we'd get everyone there and back.
As a divine dragon, you can travel there no matter where you are in the world.
Convenient.
I can?
Indeed. Furthermore, one can only enter the Somniel with a divine dragon's power. Without Queen Lumera's blessing, even we stewards couldn't have set foot there. That is what makes it a safe haven.
Well then, yes. Let's use it as our base. But before we depart, can you give me a moment? We'll be gone a while, so I'd like to say goodbye to my mother.
Of course. Take as much time as you need.
Yeah, they're Lucas Fernandez. I recognize the name, but I'm not sure what you're talking about.
All this time. This journey will be a long one, but don't worry. Vander and the others will be right beside me. I will fulfill my duty as the Divine Dragon. I will find all of the rings. Just as you asked. And then I'll return to you, Mother. I promise. Here we are, safely returned to the Somniel. I didn't realize how spacious this place was.
It is rather quiet, I know, but it will liven up as we gain allies. We may need someone to supply us with equipment as well. Something to consider.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, Divine One, might this be yours?
A piece of jewelry. I don't recognize it. The crystal looks unusual.
You can actually see the hourglass
in there. Where did you get this?
Hourglass shape.
On the ground in the ring vault.
Which is a
after
hit.
the siege. I thought it might be yours, but
I actually don't know, Sumo. They haven't responded.
No one has come forward, so it must have belonged to an enemy soldier.
I haven't updated any streams.
Wait, it's familiar somehow, even though I've never seen it.
Then please, do take it. Perhaps it will help jog your memory.
Thank you, Vander. Once we've rested for a bit, let's set out for Fire Emblem.
I don't know what this is. It's the enemies, probably. I'll keep it as a memento of this wonderful day. Look at all these little sprites. I love how they just add more and more as your crew grows. You can't jump or move around as you could in Three Houses, but I love how they're like actually animated and bobbing. Somniel. Somniel is your base. Use this area to prepare the next battle and interact with your allies. Additional activities and areas of the Somniel will unlock as you progress through the story. And we can just go to the world map from the plaza. Oh, we have our gifts from as someone who plays Fire Emblem Heroes, I have claimed these items. You can get unique weapons from the Order of Heroes, Alphonse's sword. Oh gosh, I'm gonna pronounce some of these wrong, aren't I? Volk-Wagner, Sharina's lance and Celir, and Anna's axe, Nortun. But yeah, we definitely have some very cool items right off the bat.
You see,
Ram. Let's see here. Oh yeah, and our emblems just kind of chill out too.
Yes.
guess it's just those days for bots. Oh, Sigurd, how you doing?
You know,
Lumera said that emblems can roam here more freely due to the Divine Dragon's power. That's kind of why Mark just kind of sits around here. Boucheron. I love everyone's formal, not formal, but casual. I say formal, they look all nice, but it's really just their casual clothing in this world. Elier's got the armor taken off. We really can't do much right now. It's just here to see the setting at the moment. Cafe Terrace. It's a relaxing communal space with access points to other facilities. Use the music box to change the background music. Bulletin board is full of information. You can use it to invest in Helios or check on your own achievements. If you haven't noticed by now, on the very top of the screen, we've been getting these little achievements here and there. You get achievements for like everything in this game. So if you check that real quick, you can claim bond fragments, rewards for various deeds. Bond fragments will be going towards various other activities for weapon creation or yeah, for enhancing weapons and such. You'll be notified when you complete an achievement. Remember to collect your well-earned bond fragments. So fighting in combat, defeating soldiers, landing a critical hits, engaging, etc, etc. There's so many things here you can earn them for. So you can claim them all at once. We're gonna collect a nice little heaping bounty of bond fragments as time goes on. Class of Gloucester, hello, welcome. How's it going? Is that a Luke icon? Or emote? Or am I mistaken? The game is fantastic so far. Animations are beautiful, they're smooth. Voice work is wonderful as it always is for modern Fire Emblem games. And we're learning combat little by little. Oh my goodness, there's so many Tales of the Abyss emotes. There's Luke, there's Tyr, Jade, Dist. That looks like Sync, I believe. And Mew. My gosh, I need fun emotes like that too. And go in here. The heroes items. Let me go ahead and oh gosh, everything I press and look at right now, there's gonna be a menu that comes up. Somnial, you can skip, go to places. What's this right here? So reference. Oh, I can't do my equipment quite yet. Oh, okay. We'll do that later. For heroes items, if you go to your if you go to Fire Emblem Heroes, your app, open up the game. I'm gonna do it real quick right now. On the home menu, where you see all your heroes and such on the main menu, you go to. I'm gonna actually show you right here. Hold on. I'm gonna show you right now. Once all of this, I didn't log in today, so now I'm just scrolling through all this stuff right now. Please, I'm trying to do a thing. Fire Emblem Heroes. If you want the hero stuff, from here, go to the little achievements down here, there's little missions. Tap on that, and then up here in the corner, there's that silver badge that you pretty much never ever touch. Next to quests and missions. So you tap that on the top left. It'll bring you to My Nintendo. And then you can see right here, there's Fire Emblem Engage bonus items you can claim right there. And when you claim them, they'll give you a code, and you just go to the eShop, you claim that code, the game will download it, you have to restart it, and then you'll be able to claim the weapons and also some rings. But apparently, I can't equip them right now. I can't show them at just the moment. You can only check on supports and such. Is there a support? There's a support! We're gonna do our first support, everybody! Vander and Clan.
I picked up the letters like you asked, Vander.
Ah, yes. Set them down over there, will you?
I also brought a letter opener. Thought you might need it.
Very good, thank you. Clan, before I forget, will you deliver this package?
Delivery boy.
Yes,
Take
sir.
this for me.
Answering letters. A man of my age should put his fighting hand to nobler purposes. Is something the matter?
What? Oh, no. Everything's hunky-dory.
Well then, why are you standing
This
there
has
gawking?
such a
I
Deku
told you
energy to him
deliver
right now,
that
too.
Package.
Yes, sir.
On with it then. A faithful servant of the Divine Dragon wastes no time.
If you gave me some real steward work to do, maybe I'd take it more seriously.
Pardon?
Nothing! I'll deliver that package for you right away, sir.
There's a lot of My Hero Academia voices in this game, which is pretty funny. Well, there's no one else for now, so we're gonna keep on fighting next to our friends and hopefully getting those soon enough. What can I even look at right now? Hello, Alfred.
Right.
Nice tie. All these are empty right now. They will fill in due time. All I can really do is run around. Although there's not much I can show because nothing's open. Got it? Yay! No problem, Stacy. I was looking for that too. I could have done that a while ago. Because when I got the game, I couldn't go on I couldn't use the online services or claim any of the codes or do the DLC. I had to wait an extra day. So I only got to that just yesterday. So all over this place we can look up grapes, apples, chat with our other friends.
Yes.
And this is essentially a mixture of My Castle from Fire Emblem Fates with Garreg Mach Monastery from Three Houses. There's a bit of an area to explore, but I'm thankful that the area is not so huge and overwhelming compared to Three Houses. I feel like I was running around the monastery for so long, and we got horse manure. What a great gift to give to someone. We got to we spent so long in the monastery running around, fighting gifts, giving it to others, and it's fun in its own right. Obviously, I'm not saying it was like a waste of time or anything, but it did cut into gameplay quite a bit where sometimes I would play more in the monastery than an actual map. I'm thankful that this is like much more streamlined. We can probably go fishing here at some point. This looks like a nice little pond. You're asking for the game for your birthday? When's your birthday? Is it soon? I bet you'll enjoy playing this one as well. Got a lot of stuff going on. Lookout. March 29th. Okay, you got a couple of months to finish up Three Houses. But yeah, there's definitely a difference between this game and Three Houses where you just kind of easily run through here. Obviously, there's not much to do right now. As you can see, I'm just wandering around everywhere. Little grotto. Bond fragments. What could this be? This appears to be some sort of shrine. Looks like some place where you would worship some sacred deity or something. No idea. Nice little grotto though. But once those facilities start to open up, I'll definitely give you guys a look. And a little tour. But for now, look how dapper this man looks in his casual outfit. I could give him a gift, but this is all I have right now. Ordinary horse manure, that's it. You could technically give it to someone, but why would you? I'm scared to give it to someone right now. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Pretty pebble, that's a little better than manure. And milk. We'll be using these ingredients soon.
Oh!
The only difference from this outfit from the one she fights in is just the fact that her belly's covered up now, and we can't not see the abs anymore. Definitely a downgrade. Where's the abs? Hey there, author ACU. Yeah, a weekend stream. I'm going to be doing more solo streams on the weekends, and I think Brandon is going to be doing some more on Sundays on his own too when he has the time. I don't know about tomorrow quite yet, but
Hey there, Divine One.
I'm sure he'll keep us informed. Yeah, there's not much I can do. Somniel currently has no facilities open essentially, so we're gonna just go ahead and depart to the next chapter. We'll definitely do more in the times to come, but we won't be spending like an hour or so in the monastery as we would if it was the monastery. Chapter 4, A Land in Bloom. We're gonna keep going. Probably about another
Here we
hour.
are, the Kingdom of Firene.
Firene.
What a beautiful place.
Full of flowers.
Isn't it? And no sign of the corrupted, so that's good.
It's so
It was quite a
beautiful.
trip. Crossing the sea all the way from Lethos.
There's a sheep in the
I hope you're not
background.
worn out.
I'm fine.
Good.
Everything's
good.
rendered properly.
Listen, I'm sorry for twisting your arm to come with me.
Alfred, it's all right. I wanted to come. How about before we arrive at the castle, you tell me more about this kingdom of yours?
Happy to. Let's see. Firene is one of the 4 nations of Elios in the southwest. It's ruled by my mother, Queen Ev. We're known as Land of Plenty.
I've played the most major games I played in the past were Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Pokemon, Violet, now this game. 3 games in which the world map kind of goes in a circle and there's something important in the middle. Is this a trend I'm sensing right now?
Our people value peace above all else. We haven't seen war for centuries.
You must come from a long line of capable leaders.
That's kind of you to say. Peace doesn't always come easy. Mother had to hammer out a non-aggression pact with our neighbors. The pact says there won't be war between us, Solm, and Brodia.
I like this little
Right.
introduction.
Solm, the Queendom of Freedom, and
Countries and
Brodia, the
leaders.
Kingdom of Might.
You've got it. Solm is an open-minded country. They've always had good relations with Firene. But an alliance with Brodia took some doing. Their king's an ambitious man. He's always launching attacks on Elugia to expand his own territory.
I take it Elugia isn't in the Alliance.
No. Honestly, they're so far away, we don't interact with them too much. We know it's snowy there, with long winters, and that some Elusians worship the Fell Dragon.
The Fell Dragon?
It's troubling, I know. But people can believe what they believe. Sorry, I didn't bring it up to turn you against Elugia.
It's not them I hate. It's the Fell Dragon. Him and the one who killed my mother. Can you tell me more about the emblem ring that was entrusted to Firene?
Oh, sure. It's the Ring of the Caring Princess. Doesn't look like anything
Caring
special.
Princess. Do you know who
Until I
that
met
is?
you and Marth, I thought the emblems were legends. I can't wait to tell my sister they exist. She'll really be knocked for a loop.
You have a sister.
Yeah, the Princess of Firene, Saline. She's at the castle with Mother right now.
Princess Saline. I look forward to meeting her.
Just call her Saline. I'm sure you two will get along great.
So yeah, as time goes on, you'll meet characters who are like, "Oh, you're the Divine
There's
Dragon."
Flora Milltown.
Sorry to be
Castle's
so
close
informal,
now.
and then they're
We'll
just buddies.
Cut through here and something's off.
What is it?
I think there might be trouble ahead.
Spidey senses are tingling. Or maybe it's just his muscles. I think his muscles are tingling when there's danger. Yeah, Three Houses was definitely like that too, with the important in the middle. And God, yeah, it would take a long time in some maps.
Oh, no.
Just, or some play sessions just doing everything.
The corrupted. They're everywhere.
Finding gifts for people or lost
Can't
items.
stand to
Jeez.
see them overrunning this peaceful town. I have to drive them away. Divine One, will you help me?
Of course.
Oh, Final Fantasy V is like that too.
Danger looms from every side.
Oh dear.
I fear we will never make it to my brother.
Princess Saline, I beg you to make your retreat.
Saline
We'll
is
have
just
this.
a tulip,
More of the fiends
which
might
makes
be on the
sense
way.
considering the land of
Hurry.
flowers.
Louis, Chloe, you can't possibly expect me to.
It is our sworn duty to protect the princess. We will hold the line for you as long as we must.
Louis.
You
And
have
Chloe.
to leave. If you should fall here, who warns Prince Alfred of the invasion to come?
It's
I can
everyone's
see
new
the point,
wife,
But
everyone.
I'll return for you both. Please hold out until then.
Apologies, Chloe. Pains me greatly to separate you from Princess Saline for even a relatively brief amount of time.
Might I say?
Like Louis' voice.
I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get to see you run
I love
off
the
with Her
characters that
Highness
just
yourself.
smile with their whole
A knight
face
that
with their
never
eyes
leaves his
closed.
princess's side.
The sooner we win, the sooner that will come to pass. What say you, Chloe? Shall we?
Yes, let's.
Or just angry with their whole face. I love that there's not just... They made a point to make it seem like he doesn't close his eyes all the time. Preparing for battle. We're on our preparation screen now. I gotta say, I think, like, what's up with every Fire Emblem game that has such a good battle preparation theme song? In these menus, they're always so good. This one just gets you, like, hyped up and ready. In the selection, you only have this many. Oh goodness, Emblem Ring. So as it's showing here, and as I'm going to do myself, I'm going to give Alfred the Emblem Ring for Sigurd.
Sigurd!
We go together.
So with that, he gets an improvement with movement. Canter. I thought it was Canto, but Canter is just you can move 2 spaces after acting, which is a pretty common thing in Fire Emblem at this point now. Yeah, increases. Wow. Okay, Cavalry in particular get a movement +2, but everyone else gets movement +5. And then Override, which will be their main attack, which pierces through multiple enemies at once, of which we will be definitely showing as we go forward, if we can line them up just right. Whoa, soft spaces, yeah. Oop, you can have everyone have a different starting point. Let's go ahead and where do we want to begin? Oh gosh, we already have armored units over here. Jeez. Yeah, we're pretty good to start with. There's not really much else we can do. Oh yeah, there was... Where's... Yeah, it's the purple ones that show where players have had units die, right? Who died on the fortress? Others asking about the bond rings. I tried to go in the bond ring area and it's not, I can't go in there yet. I think I need to wait for the next chapter before I can actually go in there, which is fine. We're still fairly early on here, and all I can really do is manage my emblem rings at the moment. Go ahead and start off.
Alfred!
Hello.
Saline? What are you doing here? I thought you were with Mother.
I was, but Alfred, the Elusian army is marching on the castle.
What? Why?
I cannot say. Before they arrived, Mother sent me to warn you. But then we were ambushed on our way to Flora Port. Louis and Chloe stayed behind so that I might have a chance to escape. Please, we must hurry back to them.
Absolutely.
Pardon me, Princess Saline, but do you have the emblem ring?
Yes, Mother gave it to me. Why do you... Goodness gracious! The Divine Dragon? You're here! You're awake!
I am.
May I say, it is truly an honor. The emblem ring is right here. Please, Divine One, it is yours.
The words. They're coming to me.
Who could it be?
Care for us, Emblem of Echoes.
It's Celica!
I am Emblem Celica. I detest violence, but I will always fight to defend the innocent. Thank you for answering my call.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is the emblem that was in Firene's ring.
Emblem Celica! How marvelous! Divine One, with your blessing, and hers of course, I would like to fight by Celica's side. I must protect the people of this village and ensure Louis and Chloe's safety.
I entrust this ring to you, Celine.
I love how the voices for the English voices for pretty much the entire cast of lords that are present in this game return. They've been always very consistent too. Erica Limbeck is, I know she really loves Celica as a character, so I know she's very happy to come back every time they want to have her voice her. Mostly in Heroes at this point now, but now in the mainline game.
I won't be able to get very far with these archers everywhere.
How about this? I take care of the archers and you deal with the magic users.
Good idea. While their spells will go right through your armor, I'm resistant to magic. So leave the mages to me. It's not so bad protecting each other, now is it?
Indeed. This is a nice change of pace.
Alluding that they're just always arguing or fighting. Defeat Rodine. Okay. Anything else? Spirits of the Fallen. If you head into battle, while connected to the network, spirits representing the player's past battles will appear on the map. Yellow spirits appear where many ally units. Oh, those appear where many ally units have fallen. You can experience and bond by waiting in these spaces. Purples appear where many of the foes have fallen. Okay. So a lot of people, you can kind of get an idea of where the problem areas in the maps are by how many of these yellow sparkles are present. So over here there must have been some issues to be had, which is unfortunate because you're on a fort.
Understood.
But this is a bow user. But then there's an armor. Well, it's okay. We're gonna make this work. Louis! Come on, Louis.
Whatever you ask.
Slim Lance. Go, Chloe.
Hungry for more.
Oh my gosh, she just starts with a critical hit.
And they lived happily ever after.
Jumping in with a strong start over here. I was talking about voice actors too, yeah. And also Grant George back for doing Sigurd as well. Only became his official voice in Heroes, but again, Heroes has been very consistent with having the same people, mostly the same people on their main characters. Oh.
Look at that house. The gate is wide open. We'd better warn them to lock up so the corrupted don't get in.
Yep, that's here as well. Visit houses, and when you visit these houses before a corrupted or enemy destroys them, they'll give you a little gift. But for now, I think that's all the tutorials at the moment. Well, probably another one when they're sailing, but it's okay. Pick them off.
I'll take this.
That was a good session.
That backup's like a nice way of kind of paying homage to the how supports worked in 3DS games as well. Because there's nothing like the what was it, adjunctant in this game? Because your emblems essentially are your adjunctants at this point.
As your steward.
Can't reach this guy.
For you, anything.
You know what?
Emblem Celica, it is an honor. So it was your voice I heard on the way from the castle. I am glad you're here with me.
I feel the same, Celine. I will fight by your side from now on. Together, we will protect that which you hold dear.
Thank you.
Emblem Celica. She wields powerful magic attacks. She is a valuable asset against corrupted foes. Sync skill Holy Stance reflects some of the damage received back to the attacker. Gauge weapon Seraphim deals bonus damage to corrupted foes. The engage skill Echo allows the unit to initiate combat twice using a tome at the cost of 50% damage, and the engage attack Warp Ragnarok teleports the user to a space near a distant enemy and attacks with powerful magic. Celica is kitted out with this.
With Celica's help, I ought to be able to reach Chloe and Louis more quickly.
Well, from what I've seen so far, she's one of the more powerful units to engage with. I do want to go to Louis and Chloe, but right now it's more beneficial to have her just obliterate this unit instead. And thank you, Shadow Monkway, for raiding. How you doing? Welcome. We're playing Fire Emblem. Engage. I'm on chapter 4 right now, so we're starting to get into the main meat of the gameplay at this point.
You called?
And I am figuring this out. I'll leave you. Well, you can just run wherever you want, huh? I don't really want to split people, but sometimes it just kind of calls for it. Alfred has a lot of movement, so I usually put my cavalry to go after the these houses. I almost waited. Whoops.
What's that? Monsters here? Gosh, all. Thanks for letting me know. Take this. Might come in useful.
Thank you, Patrick Seitz. A javelin! Alfred can use that after all. Watch out for that spot. Let's see. You are not a knight, armored knight, so I don't really want to moment.
Your steward's ready.
Get that for a little later. Well, I guess I could have attacked. Well, actually, I could still attack. Bye. Land has a lot of use in the beginning. Homecoming hero with 100 redeeming, saying, I regret nothing. I named my main lead Pepsi, so the adventures of Pepsi-chan have begun, or Pepsi the Divine One. Oh my goodness. It's just never gonna end, is it? It's all good. Everyone can name their character whatever they like. I'm not gonna be salty. I would have gone... Well, I guess I'm not gonna go back and change her name at this point. But yeah. The Trinity of, as Homecoming is saying, Pepsi, Colgate, and Joy-Con. Listen, Micah Picasso just wanted to make a very memorable character design with two-tone hair. And that's the funny thing, is that for as much as people might hate the design, they're gonna remember it, and that's the sign of effective character design.
These houses are ripe for the picking. Time for a good old-fashioned village pillage.
Not the village pillage.
The crystal. It's glowing.
Where did you get that?
It was in the ring vault. Vander found it after the battle at Lethos Castle. Why? Do you know what this is?
The Draconic Time Crystal. An artifact capable of reversing time itself. There is a limit to its power, but still, it could give us a keen advantage.
Time crystal, huh? So it's not just a pretty piece of jewelry.
This is your Mealis time
Since we
wheel.
have it, I suggest we put it to use.
Your divine time.
Give it a try.
Your draconic time crystal now is what it's called. So you can go back in time to retry actions. It's just a bit of a safeguard, which kind of renders the whole, if it's classic mode or not, kind of useless or pointless, because you can just go back in time anyways. But I'm not complaining. More options is always better. Yeah, JD Buck. A bad design is better than a boring design that nobody talks about. When nobody talks about your stuff, that's when it just kind of it didn't stick. But I think people will grow on it in time. She really stands out in the crowd. That's for sure. Look at all that hair. All right, bringing our crew. I somehow just got my original crew of stewards on this side. which is perfectly fine. 10 bits from Homecoming Hero. Also saw all the anime VAs in this game. We got Sasuke as Marth and Deku as Clan. Yuri Lowenthal always killing it as Marth. I keep confusing the Deku's voice actor for Anthony Del Rio as Pit. I don't. It's just me. It feels like, but they sound so similar.
This ends now.
Oh, with the crit! Look at that two-tone crit colors. It's destroyed this man. You also will not. Lucario will not go unseen. Actually, that Lucario is there next to a Pikachu, and they hold my phone up. It's a little phone holding, so it keeps it propped up on my desk. But it's stuck down. It's stuck into some special tape so that it doesn't move, which is why I couldn't move it. It will go unignored. Well, I gotta move. So here we're gonna use Saline and Celica. Can run over here, engage.
Please grant me your strength. I feel a great power within. We have united, haven't we? My resolve is strong. I will protect my people. I will protect everyone.
From here we can use Orb Ragnarok.
I am resolved to fight for peace. Hold on, you two. I am on my way.
And they kind of expect you to do that too, because you can go to any of these blue spaces. You can warp anywhere within range of a unit that's at least around 10 spaces away from you. Within a certain distance, yeah. Because you can't go this far to the boss. You can only go this far over here. But as far as which one we want to eliminate, it could be anyone, honestly. We're going to fly out here instead. Take care of this one. Even the Pegasus Knight doesn't stand a chance against that spell.
Allow your soul the rest it deserves.
Then just go ahead and start picking them off from here. Just smashing through the fence. Destructible environments are really cool too.
You were beautiful while you lasted.
You don't see them too often, but sometimes you'll blast right through some of the fences and such.
I won't get lost.
Yeah, actually, you can wait right here with the javelin. See what we have. Culinary. You two can just kind of hang back for now until this one is closer. No matter who he hits, I trade this actually. Can't use the axe. We'll probably give this axe to someone else in time. Very good for utility. Have range on these units. Ooh. Oh wait, I should heal. I haven't even healed yet.
Thank you.
She's in the fort. Like she's actually occupying the fort. Alright. Let's see. Oh wait, no, I haven't used. Get on the fort. Can't forget to. Oh, I missed. Oh, they're all in the. They're in the thicket. Look at that. They're aiming up into the fort and attacking down from the fort itself. You can see the stairs. Don't question how the horse got up there. But that's really awesome to see that they're using the environment much more in this game.
I want to help you.
Those designs look crazy. Come and get it. I never seen the armored
You were
units
beautiful while you
be
lasted.
so nimble before. Isn't that crazy? Here they come. I think I'm gonna... No, I have to get rid of you first. I'm gonna try and get AT some experience here for sure.
I'll have to up my weights.
Oh man, level ups have been not too kind so far. But I'm going to... No, I think I'll engage. I think they're fine over here. I can handle this.
Power blooms in me.
Go javelins.
I've had my eye on you.
Okay, or just do a crit. Why not?
Simple enough.
Oh, with 2 crits already. I haven't seen that one either, where she just jumps from the Pegasus and throws it. I'll talk to you later. Actually, we need to buy this space right now. It's too late.
Thank you for warning me. Here, use this to bring peace to our land.
2,000 gold. I think that's my first gold at all. We were literally broke for a while there. Who do we want to own this one? Getting everyone some involvement here. Get close enough. There you go. I want to be able to go this one to come and get us. YouTube. Boy, I'm so far behind. We'll use an engage to catch up.
My muscles are yours.
Because movement after engaging with Sigurd is kind of insane. These two, I don't think they're going to be doing too much more actually. And then, oh, are you going to go after him anyways? Oh, he's the ruffian. I want to talk to my princess.
Louis, thank goodness.
Princess Saline, how relieved I am to see you unharmed. Hmm? You seem different.
The Divine Dragon brought Emblem Celica forth from my ring. I am imbued with her strength.
Pardon? The Divine Dragon is here?
Indeed. I will explain everything later. For now, let us restore order here. I promise I will never leave you behind again. Come, let us fight together.
As you wish. Princess Saline and Emblem Celica. What a pair.
What a pair. Their names are almost exactly the same. Yeah, Sumo, you know what? I've been getting some weird amounts of crits and just a lot of missing. There's a certain character I've been using who just gets the weirdest amounts of low percentage crits and hits, or misses rather. And has also died to a crit here and there. A 3% crit, no less. Those ones always hurt the most. Just about wrapped up
We're
here.
losing ground, are we? Well, that's easily remedied. Release the corrupt.
I spoke too soon. Reinforcements are going to happen. Thankfully, it's also the kind of reinforcements that happen at the end of a turn, not the beginning of a turn, unlike some Fire Emblem games. So, I want you to see the movement we have for Alir, movement of 4, movement of 6 for Vander, and then we have engaged Alfred and Sigurd here with a movement of 1, 2, 3. Well, if I wanted to go around here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spaces away. So it's actually 13 because the fort reduces one space, but you can move. You go from having the shortest movement ranges in Fire Emblem with 4 to like having the largest in one single turn. Also, hello.
Chloe, I am relieved to see you're all right.
You too, Princess Saline.
I was able to find Alfred, and the Divine Dragon, no less. After that, the Divine One summoned Emblem Celica from within my ring.
A noble dragon summoning ancient spirits to save the day. That sounds just like a fairy tale.
It does. Now that I have this power, let's give this story a happy ending, shall we?
Let's do it.
Oh yeah, that's totally like over half the map kind of energy right there. We can wait here. Oh boy. So many spirits over there. Who do I want? Well, Lan can take this one.
The strength of the stewards.
Problem is the axe user, which isn't the big deal, but I don't want to put a sword user unit at that range. But we'll leave you right here with Iron Lance. Also helps that you have self-improve there as well. I will heal you too. Heal!
Kind of you.
Oh gosh, you're way down here. You can try and catch up. Gonna huddle up. I do. Oh, it's hard for me to tell when they're in armor unit at this point. Good evening, Spicy. Welcome. How are you doing? Woo! We are playing Engage. We've been at it for an hour, 2.5 hours at this point. Let's see here. Brandon just sent me an ID for a trial, Tempest trial. It's so weird that they're calling it Tempest trial. It's just the same name in Fire Emblem Heroes, but a different mode, I think. I at some point when I can make it, we're gonna make our map together on here. Hello, who's this? Oh my gosh, what are you all doing here? I didn't ask for this. Get out of here. Get him. That aim. It's all in the abs. It's all in that focus in that core and aiming that perfect shot. I'm gonna take you down too. Boom. Broke that fence. Will the sequel be Fire Emblem Marriage? It could be. By the end of the game, who knows who gets married? And then the third in the trilogy, Fire Emblem Divorce? Who knows? Okay, so Celica wore off. That was 3 turns. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna give this person a bad day still.
All flowers eventually wilt.
Cool to see them attack together like that. On level up. Magic +3. And a level up. All sorts of level ups. You know, I haven't even mentioned it yet. This game doesn't go da na 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 on level ups anymore. It has its own music, its own thing going on for it now. We're moving forward. And after that's Fire Emblem Child Custody, says Jaden Buck. Oh lord. Can you imagine? You know, I can be in here. Take him out!
Need some help?
That was Fates, says author. Oh lord. Good old Fates. Who do we want to... Well, I want Lear to get more too. I haven't even used Engage, so I don't need to at the moment. Sometimes you'll be at a type disadvantage, but it'll still work out in your favor. I'm not worried about more damage. Or I'll just get hit. It's fine.
Dream well.
Finally, coming up at the end here. You be okay. You can just sit here with his javelin, ride this one out. Been enjoying the music too. Fire Emblem, we can work it out. The baby dimension. Poke him. Poke him good. Oh gosh, the boss is moving too. Well, that's how it's gonna be. Build up Chloe as well. Some KOs to work off of.
I'm sorry.
Even though she's already gotten 2 crits. Trying to show off early, I see. I need to get more characters close. Well, you know, you probably just deal with them right here. Oh, you have a hand axe. That's annoying. Well, let's see.
Soon I'll be a legend. A man who captured the Princess of Firene.
Try it. Oh gosh. See, that's the thing that throws me off with this game, is that whenever they're about to make a hit, every character braces themselves, like they're about to dodge, both enemies and your own units, and I'm always get fooled into whether or not I'm gonna actually make a hit or not sometimes. Always sometimes, yeah, that makes sense. But it throws me off. I'm just like, it makes you clench every time. A compact axe? Well, that's nice. Can you do the honors? No, they're too beefy. But you only have a javelin in that. We'll wait right here. Maybe somebody else will be able to get the kill anyways. Oh, you're way back. Oh, jeez. Okay. Everyone just pile on. Oh, right, the self-improvement boosts his attack enough.
I would have won, you know, if they'd given me real soldiers.
Giving me real soldiers? No, you would have. You'd still be a lump on the floor right now. Chloe with the MPV status. What a legend. 2 crits within like the first 2 moves of her actions. Land in blue. Gosh, we're on 5 now. We're gonna blow this away, everybody. Oh, another scene. Oh yeah, it's this girl. I had a lot of questions about this girl when I saw the trailer for the first time. How clean that looks.
There's no need to be afraid. It's gone.
You saved my life. Thank you.
It was nothing, really. I only did what anyone else would do.
Are you here by yourself?
I am. I saw the fighting and thought I could help.
You're braver than I am. I can't stand the corrupted. I was so startled I couldn't think. You really did save my life.
I see.
Oh, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm the Divine Dragon.
What a lovely name. I'm Vale.
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 Might I interrupt?
What is it?
Even with the corrupted gone, it may not be safe for her out here. Perhaps we should escort her home, or to an inn.
That's a good idea. Hey, Vale, do you live around here? Huh? She's
Well
gone.
then.
Divine One!
Saline, did you see a girl pass this way? Small, with long hair, barefoot?
No, I'm afraid I didn't see anyone matching that description.
Okay, thanks. Did you need something?
I wanted to thank you. Alfred told me that you accepted Firene's request for aid, and your help in the battle was the difference between victory and defeat. Thank you. Truly.
Don't mention it. Alfred and I are friends. I was happy to
Yeah,
help.
if you're in Europe,
Friends?
no worries if you have to head
He
out. Have a
said
good
that?
night. Thank you for joining us.
Imagine speaking so
I'll be stopping
casually
soon
with the
anyways.
Divine Dragon. Please, allow me to apologize on his behalf.
There's no need to put me on a pedestal. I just woke up, and the world is new to me. I make mistakes like anyone.
Is that so? I thought surely the Divine Dragon would be an all-seeing, all-powerful being.
No, I'm just
But
a person.
Here
at
I
this
find
point.
that you are rather more human than I expected. Perhaps we can be friends.
Then what do you say, Saline? Friends?
I would be honored.
I think I more like the dynamic of this is a divine person and I'm a lesser person. But as you talk to them, they're like, "Oh no, you're really just more of a human and closer to I than that." And they're just much more humble. I think I like that dynamic a bit more than characters who constantly have you on this pedestal. Obviously, the twins in this game, they have that mindset of like, "Oh, they're never gonna stop being starstruck." But as long as it's not, you know, every single character in the game, I think it's something I can handle. I hope some other people can handle too if they weren't such a fan of that with Corrin. You can adopt animals. Why am I not explaining this instead? You can adopt the animals you see and bring them back to Somniel. All these strays out here, after you adopt them, you can let your animals graze in the farmyard. They may even drop goods and ingredients that you can use. If you donate to countries using the bulletin board, you'll be able to adopt more animals. I haven't told Brandon this yet, but you can adopt bunnies. Not right away though, but I'm certain he will be pleased to hear that. And look, it always throws me off that after a fight, you can just literally explore that entire map here, just like that. It's basically a beagle. Almost is maybe. Hello. We've adopted. Adoption complete. We can find bond fragments. Let me just chat with our new allies.
Oh my.
Fine one, I presume. I am Louis. Thank you for coming to my princess's aid.
Thank you.
I'm Chloe. I can't thank you enough for saving Princess Saline's life. I'm glad we found Saline, but I'm worried about the castle. Let's head there as soon as we can. Why would the illusions invade Firene? I hope that Mother is safe at the castle. Oh yeah, the eyelashes behind the eyes, they do that pretty well. Just a lot of really careful attention done to these characters. Oh, as a Glasser, you see this one. Yeah, it probably is the same artist because they've done one for like every English released Tales game thus far. I don't know if there's one for Arise. I haven't seen that yet, but I have all of them and they're framed. I can't adopt a chicken because I don't know how to raise it. What in the world? Well, I guess we're not having chicken nuggets tonight. Let's check out these last two glowing areas way out here. All this bridge is like actually out. Look, it's like an actually rendered out area. It's crazy. Because like, I still remember in Three Houses, they'd have support conversations and you can just tell the background and the floor, they were just textures that were plastered on and just unfortunately stretched out so that the perspective only worked in like one angle, but every other angle they didn't work. But here it's actually all rendered out, which is a huge difference maker. Yeah, after a fight you can just walk around if it's a village and just chat with the people around. Get a bit more world building that way, because there's people out here too. There's not just your own units or like the people that are within the houses you need to rescue them from. There's living here.
Really?
You see Fire Emblem Castle from here. Isn't it gorgeous? I wonder what it's like to live there.
Yes.
The villagers are here have nothing but love and respect for you and Queen Eve. Oh yes, I guess it's true. Author's saying chickens are dangerous. Ask Link. We might be better off this way. Head out. Animals are my main motivation for doing the skirmishes. That's true. I've done some just to get like, I've done one just to get a bunny before. Allies may give you bond fragments. You have conversations while exploring. Use bond fragments in the Somniel to create bond rings or train with emblems. Oh, we can do that next. When you finish exploring, you'll receive any available bond fragments that you missed. So you don't have to talk to everybody to get these fragments. You can talk to them and they'll give you some, but if you just decide to leave, you gotta get going. They'll give you all the ones that you would have missed out on. And we'll be using bond fragments very soon, I think.
Hey folks, mind if we bend your ear a minute?
Oh.
Name's Durden. I'm an armorer. And this here's Anis, purveyor of goods. We saw you trading thumps with those things. Figured you might be in the market for supplies.
Yes. If you need, we'd be happy to provide you with quality weapons and items. Anything to defeat those creatures.
Yes,
they pose a
indeed.
terrible threat to traveling merchants like us.
How would you feel about moving to our base? You can sell your wares from there.
Divine One.
What? We don't have any facilities. These two could be a good addition.
You're gonna let us open shops at your base?
If you'd like to. We'll need plenty of weapons and items from here on out. It's a haven. You won't find any creatures there.
You got yourself a bargain. Can't wait to do business together.
Thank you for this. I will do my utmost to ensure you receive the finest items.
Oh. Actual funds. We were broke before this chapter started. And check this out, a world map. Use a world map to select the destination or move to the next chapter. You continue the story, move a leer to your next destination and press A. Manage your inventory or return to Somniel using the menu. You can, there's like a bit of a, you can't see it too well, but she's like a little bit of more of a chibi leer in this one. But before we go there, but before we probably end off today, I'm gonna go to Somniel and see what new stuff there is there to check out. Because for the next few chapters, or next several chapters, there's going to be at least one new thing after the end of most of them. Always with that exclamation point, easily land critical hits. So you gotta watch out for when killer weapons get introduced. Oh my god! Expansion pass bonus 1 received. So you get one of pretty much every single stat boosting item. That you also get a steel item of everything, some steel ingot, some money. You now manage your skills. I won't be able to do that just yet because I don't have enough SP to do any skill inheritance or bond. bonding. Okay, hold on. But I can go in there right now. No one's working the shop yet.
Listen up.
Waiting for the most stimulants I had my meal to be absorbed. Let's go in the ring chamber. Now we can go in here. Welcome to the ring chamber. So here we have all 12 pedestals that the rings will sit on. And beyond that, behind here are 7 little seats here for the DLC bracelets to sit. So I didn't even think about that until I didn't realize that until recently, but they're not rings like the DLC one for Three Houses or Tiki or the ones to come. They're bracelets. There is only 12 rings for the emblems. Ring chamber. You can interact with our emblems, with the rings. You can summon these. Oh, I don't have enough for the... I mean, we can do the great bond rings, but I want to do 1,000. If you have 1,000, you can summon 10 at a time. We're gonna get 1,000. We're gonna come back. I think we can get enough. We're gonna find out. I think probably when I go visit the grotto, and also achievements, whatever. If I got a few achievements by now, probably. Pretty much every time you visit achievement board, you'll have something on there. Donations. You can support countries to raise your donation levels. They will reward you with gifts. With a high donation level, a country will have more rare monsters you can earn bonus gold or experience for defeating. High donation level also means that you will find more materials while exploring in that country, among other things. So Firene, we can totally afford 5,000 to donate to the next level. And by doing that, whoa, got 500 bond fragments for that guy. It's like getting orbs or gems in a gacha or something, but they're definitely useful for other things too. Achievements, we claim all. There's another 260 right there. I guess we can do that right now then. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, now I can get the chickens. Now we can feast. Can we go back? Create bond rings. Are you ready for a definitely not gacha? Create 10. So when you do this, you create rings, and they're each tied to a different character from that emblem's respective game. So rings come in 4 different ranks. Right now we're just seeing the lowest rank, the C rank. There's Katarina as well. Here we have, an S rank. This is the highest rank you can receive. This one is of Merrick. So you can see there's more stat boosts. Dexterity +1, speed +2, defense +1. This is a silver ring, which is rank B, so you get 2 stat boosts. Yeah, the rank pretty much tells you how many stat boosts you get for each one. Asita, Minerva. All mostly different so far. Legion, I was surprised to see Legion on here. Can we get another one? See the rank B? What about rank A? Lind. Now we have a lot. I lost track already. I think that's the last one. I got most of the characters already. But yeah, as you can see here, every character has a rank of their ring. B or C, B, A, and then S rank being the highest. And you can give these rings to other members of your party who don't have an emblem. And if you have rings that are of the same rank, like this one right here, we can spend some bond fragments to meld them together and make a higher level one. And it gets more costly as you get higher. Because look, if I wanted to make the B to an A rank, you need 1,000 bond fragments. That would take a moment. Oh, do we need a polish? Oops. They're not that dirty, but we'll still polish them anyways. This is so silly.
Make it nice and shiny.
Me.
Much better.
They're not very dirty, so I can't do much polishing just yet. But it helps your bonding between you and your character. I'll just pick the one who has the ring equipped.
Please be thorough. Your cleaning skills are
Hello,
impressive.
Taisai. Fine, 33. Welcome. You caught me in the middle of cleaning my rings.
Really, you are quite skilled.
Oh yeah, there's some S ranks that have skills tied to them. The Asker trio, they all have another skill tied to their rings as well, so they're definitely worth getting. I'm gonna take a look right now. So, emblem rings. For example, if you want to give one to Louis. Let's look some up right now. Art spawn rings. We don't have anything for Celica or Sigurd right now because we don't have any summoned quite yet. Merrick S rank doesn't have anything. But there's also a separate tab for special bond rings for our Asker trio. You are quite skilled. I'm just polishing a ring. It must be, that's the tiniest little piece of cloth, by the way, because you're talking about something that's your ring, and then you see that little tiny piece of cloth that's polishing it. It's really funny. So they actually have skills that just look like they popped right out of Fire Emblem Heroes. So Spur Attack, grant attack +2 to adjacent allies. Fortified Defense. When you start a turn, allies next to you will get +2 defense. And Anna has Spur Resistance. It's a bit random, but Spur Resist to adjacent allies. They can't be too strong. They have to be a bit, you know, just strong enough that it can make a difference, but not a huge one. So the gacha mechanics aren't a massive focus of the game. It's just the fact that it's there makes me laugh. But yeah, let's give. This looks good for me because he's gonna be all defense and strength, so that's a good fit for him. Ollie, for example. See if we can find something for you. This one I think I'll give to. Well, dexterity, speed, and defense. Actually, I thought you were gonna be magic based because you're Merrick. Maybe not. More HP, speed, defense. He does benefit with speed. Yeah, I think I'll go with this actually. Give that one there. Was there one for magic? Am I going crazy? These two are speed, but one's defense, one's resist. Actually, yeah. We'll give this to you. More speed, more... Speed is always good. Speed and attack are always going to be very welcome. Yay. Speed and defense, you're not really... Oh, and more HP as well. Fortified defense too. I want to build up my bow user. And then the last ones we can just kind of toss what we have left over because we don't have a lot. Speed and luck, strength, defense. And they kind of relate to the characters themselves too. Makes more. Yeah. We don't have any options right now, so we're just gonna kind of pile them on. We'll roll for more soon. Not gonna get addicted. Finally, Vander, which, I mean, you don't really need a ring. You're plenty enough of a tank already as it is. But we'll give you defense. It definitely wasn't gambling. See, unfortunately, I don't have enough bond fragments to do another 10. But maybe if we visit a friend of ours, we will. We're gonna find out right now. Let's find out together. There's still a few more things we can do. We're at 3 hours, so we're gonna stop after we've kitted ourselves out as Somniel. Once we get it done. Kind of thankful there's not as many facilities available so that I can kind of wrap this up a bit sooner. But hey, we got stalls open. We have the armory and the item shop. Bum, 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 bum. Look at this, huh? Me, here with you. Thanks for giving this old armor a hand. Need a weapon? You need a weapon? You're in the right place. Blades, bows, axes, tomes, I got them all. Buy or sell weapons here. Let's see, what can we purchase right now? What do we have? Some swords. There'll be temporary, or not temporary, but limited items like a javelin and a hand axe you can get. But everything else you can buy as many as you like. Surge is interesting because this can only be used in close combat, but it has a hit percentage of infinite.
Here you go.
It'll always hit no matter what, but you do have to be close range, so that makes it a bit risky. You have a javelin. Everyone gets a javelin. Louis, you're getting a javelin.
Here you go.
Yeah, you're gonna get a hand axe.
Here you go.
We need all the ranged weapons we can get. Why is everyone talking about gambling in the chat? Nothing happened. It's in the game. It's gotcha. I spent nothing. I spent bond fragments.
Take care.
See, actually... Whoa, I just moved myself. No, it's just a symbol of my friendship. I'm able to do what I want with that. Okay? I'm not doing anything outside of what's allowed. Inventory. Let's do our inventory. I need to give everyone their weapons. I'm not doing favoritism at all, but we're gonna give her Fezolier. These are good weapons, but they're not like super broken or anything. I think they're a good balance. Axe? Well, there's no really anyone else with an axe. That's not a Vander right now. You no. We have a compact axe too. Just kid him out with the axes. And then sword. I think I only have. Well, she can use a sword. Because Valir already has Liberation. So I don't think I really want to give her two special weapons. I keep forgetting Celine can use blades as well. She's truly the Echo of Celica. Pun intended. Wondering if we can bond, or we can farm bond fragments. Well, let me show you a little something right now. It's gonna take me just 5 seconds to run over there. This little grotto now. We go inside. It's a nice little place. What? Who's that? The air in the grotto is suffused with a mysterious aura. First of all, let me grab this. 50 bond. There's always going to be bond fragments here, I've noticed. But if you go over here...
Oh my. What in the world is this creature?
Ah, so you have found it at last.
Oh, Vander? What do you know about this little one?
Look at him.
Not much, unfortunately.
Wait.
It began to appear shortly before you awoke
Show
from
me.
your slumber. Queen Lumera once said,
Look
"It
at
is something
this
of a
creature."
guardian spirit for the Somniel. Claimed to have played with it in her youth.
She did? So this creature has been alive for a very
Just
long time.
squeeze its face.
You know, I do feel a sort of affinity toward it.
It seems to have taken a liking to you as well, Divine One. Would it please you to care for it?
Yes.
If it is truly the guardian spirit of the Somniel, doing so may bring some manner
It is
of
a
benefit.
god
Oh,
in this
what a
realm.
great idea. Now that I've met it, I'd like us to be friends. Let's see. I'll call you...
That's right. This is Sami. But we can name Sami whatever we'd like. Chat, what should we name our Sami? I need to know. I need ideas. It doesn't have to be... Listen, we only have 8 characters, so we can't put... we can't name them Gambling Chip. I need ideas, friends. Oh my gosh. I guess Chip is for short. Nobody's gonna know. It really stands for James Bond. Name it Brandon. Oh my gosh. Caring for a Brandon of my own. Or Braniel. Oh god, I don't know. This is hard. This is like when you name a Pokemon, except this is going to be even more important because it's Sami. Well, that's the thing. If I named my character Daniel, if I was like the male character, I named him Daniel, I probably would have named it... You could probably name it Brandon. Because then there would, in this universe, be a Brandon to a Daniel. As the world needs to align itself. Branch. You vote for Brandon. Oh my god. Eddie V's cousin's name is Brandon. Do we want to name our Sami as Brandon? Do you think Brandon would mind? I can ask him right now. I'm asking for his input. I don't know where he is right now. Maybe he's busy. I think maybe Braniel might be more appropriate so that it's just both of us. Oh, Oh, I see. Well, you know what? I've gotten the news, the update. We're gonna name Sami as Brandon, so he's here in spirit. Is his name okay? We're all cool with Brandon then? We're doing this as a collective group. I don't want to just take control and say, this is the name now. We're only going to know what this means in chat here, so. We're going to, we have found our precious boy. His name is Brandon.
Yes, I like that name. It's nice to meet you. I hope you like your new name.
Do you like your new name?
Looks well pleased. Don't forget to say hello to it when next you see it around.
Brandon. Take a picture of that. The enigmatic Brandon has watched over this land for untold ages. If you take good care of Brandon, something wonderful may happen. There we go. It has been done. Yay! Well, let's feed Brandon, of course. What about an orange? He's a good boy. Look at him! Little hearts go up. I don't know what creature to call him, but it is he. Bond fragments. I think you only get bond fragments once per visit. We can pet. You can pet the Brandon. Where's the Can you pet the dog account? It's not a dog, but it is a pet that you can pet in the game. I don't think you can actually pet the actual dogs in the game, but you can pet Sami. Why, thank you. Oh, we have to dress him up too. So, scarf color. We'll do purple. Purple or yellow. Has to be one of those two colors. I'll do purple for now. It's not quite the purple we would expect Brandon to have, but that'll do. Accessories. So this is the best part. We can give Brandon a funny top hat, just a little baby top hat, some very cool shades, a little flower around the ear. You can give just, this is a little too powerful, or the brows to make Brandon look tough. Do we have a specific preference? I'm of the mind for the shades just because he looks so cool, but if there's anyone in particular you all would prefer, we're doing this together. This will be our Brandon to take care of and to nurture until he is very happy. I don't know if there's enough in chat to sway the opinion one way or another. Oh god, this looks a little too cursed for me. I'm sorry, Spicy. I don't know if I can do the matching main. I won't be able to take Brandon seriously. Just the colors are so... There's so many colors on him now. Stacey says that for the shades. I might leave the shades for now. We can always change it back later. Maybe we'll just cycle them out. Oh right, I forgot. You can have a flutter friend, the rump ribbon on the bum, a cheerful charm, wings. I love a pair of fluffy artificial wings that seem to float in the breeze, but watch out, the wearer may start to believe they can fly, so stay away from cliffs. And then an ornament that looks just like our mother. I'm gonna I'll leave it alone for now. This is gonna be Sami for now. Maybe we'll do the brows a little bit later. Behold our lad. We will see him again soon. Don't worry. And I'm off. So let's collect the last little bits of items we can find around here. And then I'll probably wrap it up so that the next time we jump in, we can just go straight into the chapter. But this has been a time. Eat the flower. We can go to our stable here and have the pets that we adopted. Now they're out grazing, having a good time. Thank you, V Portella, for following, and welcome. We're slowly wrapping up right now, winding down. playing for a few hours. We got some milk. So we can check the dog. We can only do action, but we can't pet it, which is a little bit criminal. But you know what? It's okay. They're still here. Sheep. Very interesting. There's buff leg sheep over here.
Oh my.
We move to Fire Emblem Castle when you are ready. We can't go in here yet. A lot of facilities still aren't available quite yet, but we'll get there. Great, some more horse manure. Oh, we could do this! We can... Strength training is now available.
Ah.
Fine one. Came to do some strength training. Yes? I'll go get Prince Alfred. If I'm not back in a few minutes, send someone to find me. So here we can temporarily boost our stats before a battle with different mini games. You can do push-ups, which is all about timing. Squats, which is more like a rhythm game, honestly. And sit-ups, where you just have to mash the button. My favorite. But we're gonna do push-ups. Off the bar, the perfect position when it speeds up, and then this is where I saw it on the trailers. I'm just like, what is this game becoming? So yeah, you gotta press the button before it hits the very bottom. Aim to get fit. Oh, we have Brandon cheer us on. It's just so good.
You got this.
All right, we're gonna get huge. I love the ponytail look. I hope at some point we can just keep the ponytail itself. Tommy really wants, Brandon rather, really wants us to succeed, and I appreciate that.
Good.
Let's go.
You got this.
We got this.
Looking good.
Oh, the speed up. Uh-oh.
Perfect. Looking
Yeah, look
good.
up here so I don't get any lag.
Keep it up. Nice.
Welcome to the sequel to Wii Fit Training, everybody.
Great job. I'm so proud.
Wow, new record. SSS rank. Thanks, Brandon. Strength will be +2 for the next battle. Get bond fragments as well.
Let's do this again.
You could keep going if you wanted to. But I've had my heart rate increase for the day. I don't think there's anything else we can really interact with quite yet. There's some items to farm. But otherwise, I think we're pretty much wrapped up at this point. Get some more nuts. Fortunately, can't change any costumes quite yet, but that's gonna happen very soon. Yeah, I think we can't have anyone swimming until we actually have the swimsuits available to change into. Some fruits. I don't think I can go to the amiibo gazebo yet, can I? No. No arrow right here. We'll do that soon as well. Oh.
If I may.
I'll give you a gift. Have a pretty pebble.
Thanks.
That's what happened. You thought of me. Don't worry, I won't give you the manure. No place is safe on me. You're not safe, you Winnebago. Alright, everybody. I hope you all had a good time getting to know Fire Emblem Engage a little bit. We're a few hours in now. Next time we're going to jump into chapter 4? Or 5, rather. Wow, we're zooming already. First few chapters are always really quick. Yeah, we'll be at 5 next time. But I really enjoyed this game so far. It's very nice. The pacing is a lot better because you're not spending so much time at Garreg Monastery. There's beautiful animations in between. The cutscenes are well animated, as are the battles. There's been so many things about this that I've just appreciated more. Three Houses gave us that really heavy story with a lot of lore. Three Hopes just kind of expanded and almost gave us more questions than answers. So I'm fine with the Fire Emblem that doesn't really linger too much with that. Sonic Joe is asking, when will you continue Paper Mario? I don't know. I know we're more than halfway through the game. We were gonna do Chapter 6, which is Flower Fields, next time we got to that game. I wanted to stream last week, but I had a lot of stuff pile on that Saturday, and I couldn't really make it happen at this time. But I do want to finish Paper Mario as well. I'll find a time at some point, hopefully. But thank you for asking. I wasn't sure how much fun everyone was having with Paper Mario, but we'll continue my very low health run soon. But with that in mind, let me go ahead and check where we're at right now. Get out of this. I wonder who's streaming here on these days, on weekends. Like, who in the world is on the weekend at the moment? Check this out here. Oh, we have a Blue Skittle is working on art right now. So if anyone wants to hang out for that, we're gonna go ahead and raid them right now too. Raid. Did I ever forget how to do this? Alright everybody, we're sitting over to some very fine art being made right now. But thank you for joining me. Stay tuned to the channel. Stay tuned to here. Next week we'll be back with more Fire Emblem. And until then, we meet again.